Chapter 14:11. Why did this fellow come to her place? Zhao Yuner walked over. Helian Chen was already in Zhao Yuner's rundown house, and Mu Lianfeng was attending to him at the side. In the house, Helian Chen sat in front of the table, holding a bowl and drinking from it. As he drank, he praised Mu Lianfeng. "Ah Feng, don't say, this thing is really delicious." Mu Lianfeng's lips curled into a smile as he explained to Mu Lianfeng, "Yuner made it." "I knew it. Miss Yuner has a lot of ideas and can always make unexpected things. We can't buy these novel foods even if we spend money." "Yes." Mu Lianfeng was even happier when he heard Helian Chen praise Zhao Yuner than when Helian Chen praised him. "Hee, Feng, you're really lucky. You've eaten a lot of good things by Miss Yuner's side, right?" Helian Chen looked at Mu Lianfeng with envy. Mu Lianfeng raised his eyebrows and said with a smile, "What do you think?" "I think so." Ah Feng, it's not that I want to say this, but if I marry a woman like Miss Yuner in the future, I'll be overjoyed," Helian Chen muttered. Mu Lianfeng curled his lips and replied indifferently, "This kind of fortune isn't something that everyone can get, so you can only think about it." Helian Chen glared angrily at Mu Lianfeng and said to Mu Lianfeng, "Feng, can't you speak properly? Do you have to make people sad before you're happy?" Mu Lianfeng held back his laughter and didn't say anything else. Helian Chen swallowed the bowl of sour plum soup and begged Mu Lianfeng, "Feng, look, I've already finished it." Mu Lianfeng replied faintly. Feng, can you help me get some more?" Mu Lianfeng frowned and said to Helian Chen, "You've already drunk 2 bowls. You can't drink anymore. If you drink anymore, you'll have a stomachache." However, Helian Chen did not think so. "Ah Feng, don't lie to me. It's hard to say if my stomach is upset or not. My stomach is good, so it's fine to eat cold things." "I think you're saying that because you can't bear to let me drink it, right?" Mu Lianfeng looked at Helian Chen speechlessly. How heartless did he have to be to say such things? Moreover, Helian Chen was already an adult, but he was like a child and was extremely greedy. Mu Lianfeng wanted to laugh at Helian Chen, but he also felt very helpless. "Ah Chen, there's a saying that goes enough is enough. Don't you understand?" "Ah Feng, don't be so stingy. Give me another bowl." Mu Lianfeng looked at Helian Chen acting coquettishly and could not help but say, "How old are you? This has nothing to do with age. Who said that you have to keep your mouth shut when you're old?" Mu Lianfeng realized that he could not continue to communicate with Helian Chen. Helian Chen shamelessly continued to tug at Mu Lianfeng's sleeve and begged, "Feng, I definitely won't be able to drink it when I go back. How about this? Give me another bowl. If I drink another bowl, I promise I won't drink it again." Looking into Helian Chen's pleading eyes, Mu Lianfeng rolled his eyes at Helian Chen and said to Helian Chen, "Ah Chen, you said the same thing just now. Do you think I'll believe you?" Helian Chen felt very embarrassed after being exposed by Mu Lianfeng. Chapter 14:12. Mu Lianfeng felt a little wronged. Heartless people were like this. Those with a conscience would definitely not say such things. "Alright, you can say whatever you want. I don't care." Helian Chen glared at Mu Lianfeng angrily and continued to mutter that Mu Lianfeng was too petty. Zhao Yun could not help but shake her head when she saw Helian Chen's appearance. When a man acted coquettishly, he was even more powerful than a woman. Zhao Yun could not stand Helian Chen's tone when he spoke to Mu Lianfeng. Fortunately, Helian Chen was a man. If Helian Chen was a woman, she would definitely not let Mu Lianfeng and Helian Chen have too much contact. After all, women who acted coquettishly were the scariest. Men were easily charmed by women who acted coquettishly. Zhao Yun walked into the house and smiled at Mu Lianfeng. "Since she wants to drink, you can give it to her." It's not like our house doesn't have it. When Chen saw Zhao Yun come in, he said with a smile, "Ah, Miss Yun is back." Zhao Yun nodded lightly and responded. Chen hurriedly said, "Feng, look, Miss Yun is still the best. She's not as petty as you." The corner of Mu Lianfeng's mouth twitched. He should not have been soft-hearted and cared about Chen's life and death. So he said, "Since you want to eat, you can eat. I won't stop you. But if your stomach hurts, don't blame me for not reminding you." Chen hurriedly nodded and replied, I know. Other people have stomachaches, but I won't." Mu Lianfeng was speechless. A dead pig was not afraid of boiling water. This Chen probably would not listen no matter what he said. Since that was the case, then forget it. If he said too much, it would only make people despise him. Why should he do such a thing? "Well, since you said so, then go ahead and drink," Mu Lianfeng said helplessly. Zhao Yun'er took the bowl that Chen had drunk from and said to Chen, "I'll go get it." Chen was flattered as he looked at Zhao Yun'er. He immediately nodded and said, Sure. "Thank you, Miss Yun'er." Zhao Yun shook her head, the corner of her mouth slightly raised, and said with a smile, "You're welcome." Humph. Since they said that Mu Lianfeng had no conscience, then let Chen drink more. When the time came for her stomach to hurt, she would know who was the heartless one. Mu Lianfeng caught a hint of craftiness in Zhao Yun'er's eyes and understood that Zhao Yun'er probably had some bad intentions again. Sometimes, his Yun'er still made people feel that she was very cute when she was up to mischief. Zhao Yun'er quickly scooped a bowl of sour plum soup and placed it on the table, beckoning Chen to drink. Chen's face was filled with unconcealable excitement and happiness. He held the sour plum soup that Zhao Yun'er gave him and drank it happily. Seeing this, Zhao Yun'er's smile became even brighter. Drink. You'll probably have a stomachache soon." She specially added a few more ice cubes. After Chen finished the bowl of sour plum soup, he licked the corner of his mouth as if he had not had enough and used his long sleeve to wipe the corner of his mouth. "Miss Yun'er, this is delicious," Chen exclaimed with a smile in front of Mu Lianfeng. "Young Master Helian, do you still want to drink? Do you want me to scoop some more for you?" Zhao Yun'er's enthusiasm and politeness made Chen a little embarrassed. Chapter 14-13. Chen looked at Mu Lianfeng and asked for Mu Lianfeng's opinion, as if he was afraid that Mu Lianfeng would not agree. If it was just now, Mu Lianfeng would probably stop Chen. After knowing Zhao Yun'er's intention, he replied indifferently, "If you want to drink, then drink. I won't really stop you and not let you drink." Chen laughed cheekily and said, "Feng, it's good that you said that. If you don't allow it, I definitely won't drink it." Mu Lianfeng's mouth twitched. This guy, who was he trying to fool? Probably only a ghost would believe him if he said this, right? All right. So much nonsense. How can I not know what you're thinking? Chen felt like he was seen through by Mu Lianfeng. This friend who grew up with him was different. He could fool anyone, but he could not fool Mu Lianfeng. Chen hurriedly handed the bowl to Zhao Yun'er and said to Zhao Yun'er, "Miss Yun'er, I'll have to trouble you to get me another bowl." Zhao Yun said with a smile, "It's fine. You can drink as many bowls as you want. Anyway, I have a lot at home and can't finish it." With Zhao Yun'er's words and Mu Lianfeng's agreement, Chen prepared to drink without worry. Very quickly, Zhao Yun got another bowl for Chen. Chen gulped and drank the big bowl. Seeing that Chen finished drinking, Zhao Yun continued to fill Chen's bowl. After Chen drank 3 more bowls, he let out a loud burp and could not drink anymore. I'm full, I'm satisfied. Miss Yun, you don't have to buy more for me. Thank you so much. You're welcome. It's fine as long as you're done drinking. Our family doesn't lack this stuff. If young Master Hellion wants to drink it, we'll definitely give it to young Master Hellion. Otherwise, wouldn't young Master Hellion say that we're too stingy? We can't even bear to part with such a small thing. Hellion Chen smiled embarrassedly. That won't happen. I know that Miss Yuner is very generous. At least, she's much more generous than Afong. Xiao Yun also smiled faintly. She felt that Hellion Chen's appearance was a little cute. Well, since you finished drinking and Yun is back, you can tell me why you're here today. Mu Lianfeng said. Hellion Chen patted his head and finally remembered. Indeed, he should get down to business. After being interrupted, he immediately forgot the purpose of his visit today. Thus, he hurriedly gestured for Zhao Yuner to sit down and said to Zhao Yuner, Miss Yuner, please take a seat. Zhao Yuner nodded. After sitting down, she said to Hellion Chen, Young Master Hellion, what's the matter? Miss Yuner, I drank your tea last time and felt that it was very good, so I wanted to ask if you're still selling this tea. Zhao Yuner nodded and replied, Of course I'm buying it. Then how much do you have here? How much does young Master Hellion want? I'll take as much as you have. Zhao Yuner raised her brows. After staring at Hellion Chen, she said to Hellion Chen, Young Master Hellion, are you drinking it for yourself? If you're drinking it for yourself, you shouldn't need much, right? Zhao Yuner hit the nail on the head. Hellion Chen smiled and said, To be honest, Miss Yuner, I naturally won't drink this tea alone. I just feel that this is a good thing and want to give it to someone as a gift. Miss Yuner also knows that the rarer something is, the more precious it is. It's precisely those things that others haven't seen before that appear very precious. Chapter 14:14. Young Master Hellion, if you drink it alone, I can give you some. But if you give it away everywhere, I'm afraid that I don't have enough tea leaves for you. Hearing Zhao Yuner's words, Hellion Chen's eyes revealed a trace of disappointment. He lamented to Zhao Yuner, Miss Yuner, why don't you have more of such good stuff? Can't you get more? Zhao Yuner also said helplessly, I want more, but unfortunately, I can't. There's nothing I can do. Alright then, Miss Yuner, then I won't give it away. I'll drink it myself. Zhao Yuner nodded. Alright, I can give you 2 caddies. Drink it sparingly. It should be enough to drink for a while. Just 2 caddies. Miss Yuner, can you give me more? Hellion Chen stared at Zhao Yuner with pleading eyes and blinked. Zhao Yuner chuckled, Young Master Hellion, I'll give you 2 caddies. It's already a lot. The other customers are also waiting for it. What she needed to do now was to expand the market. The goods in her hands would definitely not be distributed to just one person. There were so many customers waiting. She could not let them wait forever. Alright then. Hellion Chen's disappointed expression made one's heart ache. Zhao Yuner curled her lips helplessly. She had no choice. She could only do this now. When the tea leaves planted on her barren mountain could be harvested, the amount of tea leaves produced would naturally be more. Young Master Hellion, I'll go get it for you. Zhao Yuner said and took out 2 caddies. She directly put them in a bag and handed it to Hellion Chen, Young Master Hellion, these tea leaves can be placed in a dry place. Don't let them get wet. Got it, Miss Yuner. There's one more thing I want to discuss with you. Zhao Yuner looked at Hellion Chen with some confusion and said, Young Master Hellion, what else do you want? Miss Yuner, there's still some sour plum soup left in your house. Can I bring some back? After Hellion Chen finished speaking, he suddenly felt that he had drunk enough. If he were to ask Zhao Yuner to bring some back for him, it would seem a little unkind. He hurriedly corrected himself, Miss Yuner, this is a rare thing. You don't have to give it to me for free. I will pay for it. I don't care how much it costs. Since young Master Helion likes to drink it, I'll pack some for you. You don't have to pay. After all, you are Mu Lianfeng's friend, so if I haggle over such a small matter with you, wouldn't it make me seem too petty? Helion Chen smiled. Miss Yuner can't say that. Although I'm Ah Feng's friend, the things you have here are all good and not ordinary. Since Yuner says so, I won't charge you for today's sour plum soup. If you want to drink it in the future, I'll give you 50 copper coins for a pot of sour plum soup. 50 copper coins was not a small amount, but for such a rare thing, the price was not very expensive. If she went out to buy it in the future, it would be the same price. To the rich Helion Chen, 50 copper coins was even less of a problem. Helion Chen nodded and agreed without hesitation. Then we'll do as Miss Yuner says. All right then. Zhao Yuner readily entered the kitchen and filled a pot for Helion Chen. After dividing it up, there was only a little bit left in the large pot of sour plum soup. At night, their family could settle it by drinking a small bowl each. Helion Chen, who received the sour plum soup, was very happy. Chapter 14-15. In this kind of weather, the Helion residents had already made some ice to make some iced meals. Not long after Helion Chen took the sour plum soup from Zhao Yuner, he felt a sharp pain in his stomach. Zhao Yuner hurriedly asked. Young Master Helion, what's wrong? Mu Lianfeng also glanced at Helion Chen. Seeing that Helion Chen's expression was a little distorted, he said, Ah Chen, is your stomach hurting? Although this was the truth, Helion Chen thought about how Mu Lianfeng advised him not to drink too much just now, but he said those words. Now that the truth was like this, it was a slap to his face for what he said just now. His face flushed slightly. Helion Chen felt a little embarrassed. For his own face, even if his stomach hurt, Helion Chen still pretended that nothing was wrong. He said to Mu Lianfeng, No, Ah Feng, what are you talking about? I just drank too much and felt uncomfortable. However, Mu Lianfeng did not believe Helion Chen's words. He said with a faint smile, Is that so? Of course. Alright, since your stomach doesn't hurt, then it's fine. Mu Lianfeng glanced at Helion Chen. His gaze seemed to have a deeper meaning. Zhao Yuner also pursed her lips and snickered. She knew that Helion Chen was trying to be brave. It was probably the sour plum soup that he drank into his stomach that caused Helion Chen to have a stomachache. Helion Chen controlled the expression on his face and tried his best to hold it in. Unfortunately, his stomach was still very noisy. That sharp pain caused Helion Chen's forehead to break out in cold sweat. When Mu Lianfeng saw this, he asked Helion Chen with concern, Ah Chen, your face is covered in sweat. Why is it so hot? Helion Chen touched his forehead. There was indeed quite a lot of sweat. He smiled awkwardly at Mu Lianfeng and said, Feng, I'm too hot. This weather is really hot to the point of death. Look, there are so many sweat beads on my forehead because of the heat. Is that so? Of course, the weather is really getting hotter and hotter. Helion Chen muttered to himself. Seeing Helion Chen like this, Mu Lianfeng did not continue to say anything. Helion Chen could not hold it in anymore. He said goodbye to Mu Lianfeng. Feng, it's getting late. I'll go back first. I'll come and see you next time when I have time. Just as Helion Chen wanted to rush out, Zhao Yuner pulled Helion Chen and said, Chen, it's only been a short while and you're in a hurry to go back. It's not easy for you to come. What do you mean you don't want to stay? Why don't we leave after dinner? That way, we can have a good chat. Helion Chen looked at Mu Lianfeng with a bitter face and said to him, Feng, although I want to chat with you for a while longer, I'm afraid that it will be too late after dinner. It won't be convenient for me to go back. Mu Lianfeng ignored Helian Chen's refusal and chuckled. Then don't eat dinner. You can always sit for a while more. Helian Chen furrowed his brows. There was a feeling of suffering that he could not describe. Feng, let's talk about it next time. Don't tell me you have something urgent. After asking, Mu Lianfeng muttered to himself again, I don't think so. If you had something urgent, you wouldn't have come today. Continue to sit for a while more. Don't be in a hurry to leave. Chapter 14-16. Alright, you don't have to say any more. Stay a little longer. When Helian Chen saw that Mu Lianfeng and Zhao Yun were echoing each other, Helian Chen could not refuse at all. He could only nod and say, all right. Then I'll stay a little longer before leaving. Although Helian Chen stayed, sitting on the chair was as if he was doing acupuncture. It was abnormally uncomfortable. His stomach was tossing and turning. He simply felt like he was better off dead. However, on the surface, he pretended that nothing had happened. Helian Chen was very tired in his heart. At the same time, he was very regretful. Why did he not listen to Mu Lianfeng's words? If he had listened to Mu Lianfeng, it would definitely not have led to such a situation and end up like this. After his stomach hurt for a while, Helian Chen realized that he wanted to sh*t. What am I going to do now? He could still barely endure the pain, but if he wanted to sh*t, there was no way he could hold it in at all. Helian Chen sat on the stool and rubbed his butt. In order to hold the thing in his stomach back, he could only clamp it into his anus. Mu Lianfeng and Helian Chen chatted intermittently. However, Helian Chen did not listen to Mu Lianfeng's words at all and answered intermittently. Seeing that Helian Chen was absent-minded, Mu Lianfeng knew that Helian Chen must be feeling very uncomfortable holding it in. He smiled and said to Helian Chen, Chen, you look very uncomfortable. Helian Chen met Mu Lianfeng's probing eyes and replied nervously, is that so? Of course. I'm fine. Helian Chen was still very stubborn. As soon as he said this, his anus could not hold it in anymore and let out a loud fart. An unpleasant smell suddenly came from the room, and even the air became silent. Zhao Yun and Mu Lianfeng hurriedly covered their noses. Helian Chen, on the other hand, seemed very embarrassed. Most of the time, they felt embarrassed. Seeing Helian Chen's embarrassed look, Mu Lianfeng could only say, Chen, if your stomach doesn't feel well, you should go to the latrine. Helian Chen's face immediately turned red. He looked at Mu Lianfeng, then looked at Zhao Yun who was stifling her laughter. He wished he could find a hole to crawl into. Go quickly, it won't be good if you get it in your pants. Mu Lianfeng's tone carried a trace of teasing, causing Helian Chen's face to turn red. He didn't know what to say. However, Mu Lianfeng was right about one thing. If she continued to hold it in, it was likely that she would really defecate into her pants. Although it was a little embarrassing, compared to the pain he was in now, Helian Chen decided that it was better to go and take a dump. If it ended up in his pants, there was absolutely nothing more embarrassing than this. Who knew how Mu Lianfeng would laugh at him when he turned around? After thinking about it, Helian Chen hurriedly nodded and said, okay, but where is the latrine? Zhao Yun pointed to the back of the room and said, it's behind. You'll see it when you go there. Helian Chen nodded heavily and rushed out of the room like the wind. It was not until Helian Chen rushed out and disappeared without a trace that Mu Lianfeng muttered, Yun, this is the result of suffering because of your pride. Zhao Yun replied with a smile, exactly. Sigh, I already reminded him not to drink too much of this thing, but he just didn't listen. Chapter 14-17. Zhao Yun's tone was a little teasing and doting. Compared to Hellion Chen, Mu Lianfeng was indeed much more obedient. Previously, when she said that he could not drink too much, Mu Lianfeng did not drink, unlike Hellion Chen. He was very greedy, like a child. It would be strange if he did not have a stomachache after drinking so many bowls alone. Of course. How can I not listen to Yunher's words? That's why I said you're obedient. Zhao Yunher suddenly thought of something and said to Mu Lianfeng, Hellion Chen didn't bring toilet paper. Ah. Mu Lianfeng was slightly stunned when he heard Zhao Yunher's words. He's a young master from a rich family. He definitely won't be used to using a wooden stick. Mu Lianfeng, you'd better send him some toilet paper. Mu Lianfeng hesitated and confirmed with Zhao Yunher. Did I send him? Yes, if not you, who else would send him? Am I supposed to do it? She was a woman, and Hellion Chen was a man. It was definitely inappropriate for her to send him toilet paper. Mu Lianfeng suddenly remembered that this scene was very familiar. At that time, it was Zhao Yun who sent him a finger, which made it very awkward. Thinking about it again, Zhao Yun was a woman. If she really sent it to Hellion Chen and saw something that he should not have seen, the one who would be the most upset should be him. Mu Lianfeng hurriedly said, Okay, Yun I'll send him some toilet paper. Okay. Zhao Yun responded. Hellion Chen, who was in the latrine, was very sore from pooping. Fortunately, he took off his pants in time. If he was a step later, it would probably be in his pants. However, Mu Lianfeng, who was in pain for a moment, couldn't take it anymore when he saw the environment inside the latrine. Compared to his home, this was like heaven and earth. If it wasn't for the other discomfort, he definitely wouldn't be able to go to the toilet in this environment. Other than the bad environment, it was also very smelly. Hellion Chen could only pinch his nose to prevent himself from smelling this smell. Hellion Chen thought about how Mu Lianfeng, a young master, also had to use the toilet in this kind of environment every day. He couldn't help but sympathize with Mu Lianfeng. In order to be with Zhao Yunher, Mu Lianfeng had really given up a lot. He could even live such a bitter life and still felt happy every day. Perhaps everyone had their own aspirations, and everyone had their own preferred way of life. What kind of life Mu Lianfeng wanted was naturally not something she could decide. Hellion Chen thought as he squatted in the pit. After pulling out the thing in his stomach, he didn't feel that much pain. He felt a lot more comfortable, and his body suddenly relaxed a lot. After a while, Mu Lianfeng came to the latrine and called out to Hellion Chen. Hellion Chen replied, Feng, why did you call me? You forgot to bring toilet paper. I brought some over for you. Mu Lianfeng explained. When Mu Lianfeng said this, Hellion Chen realized that he really didn't bring toilet paper. However, it wasn't that he forgot to bring toilet paper, but that he didn't have the habit of bringing toilet paper. These things were all prepared in his own latrine. When he went to the toilet, there was toilet paper inside, so he didn't have to specially bring it. He glanced at Zhao Yunher's latrine. It was so simple, so it was normal that there was no toilet paper inside. Seeing Mu Lianfeng in front of him, Hellion Chen called out to Mu Lianfeng. Ah, Feng, don't open the door. Just pass it to me like this. Chapter 14-18. When Mu Lianfeng saw Hellion Chen's outstretched hand, the corners of his lips curled up slightly. He knew that Hellion Chen was shy. He handed the paper in his hand to Hellion Chen and did not forget to tease him. Ah Chen, we grew up together and are very familiar with each other's bodies. Don't tell me you're still shy in front of me and afraid that I'll see your butt. When Mu Lianfeng finished speaking, Hellion Chen's face reddened. He muttered to Mu Lianfeng, Feng, you can't compare like this. The past is the past, and now is the present. We were still young in the past. Now that we're so old, don't you feel awkward and uncomfortable when you see each other's butts? We're two grown men. Ha, actually, you can't say that. Aw, Chen, I know you're shy. Why is it that the way you speak is becoming more and more annoying? Chen muttered. Did he have to let him see his butt? Chen shivered unconsciously when he thought about it. He felt strange in his heart. Haha, then I'll leave first. Mu Lianfeng chuckled and left the latrine pit. The smell beside the latrine pit was a little strong and really made people feel uncomfortable. Chen pinched his nose and hurriedly settled the things in his stomach. If he stayed in this latrine pit for too long, his legs would not be able to hold on. After he was done, Chen got up from the latrine pit, picked up his pants, and walked out of the latrine pit. He breathed in the fresh air outside and instantly felt much better. Chen hurried to Zhao Yun's front yard. Zhao Yun scooped a ladle of water and washed Chen. After washing his hands, Chen went to Zhao Yun's room and sat down on the chair. His body was a little limp and it was much more comfortable sitting on the chair. Sitting on the chair, Chen heaved a few deep breaths. He felt like he had been reborn and it was extremely refreshing. Zhao Yun saw Chen like this and said with a smile, "Young Master Mu Lianfeng reminded you for your own good. Look, your stomach is hurting now, right?" Chen's face blushed slightly and said, "Yes," although he did not want to admit it, Chen had to admit it. He's a heartless person. No matter what others say, he won't listen. Mu Lianfeng sighed. Chen glared at Mu Lianfeng. "Ah, Feng, don't talk to me." "Really?" Mu Lianfeng knew that Chen was embarrassed, so he stopped talking. Chen rested for a while and did not stay at Zhao Yun's house to eat. Instead, he went back. Watching Chen leave, Mu Lianfeng smiled and joked with Zhao Yun. You contributed a lot to him being like this today." Zhao Yun knew that Mu Lianfeng was referring to the matter of her feeding Chen sour plum soup, so she smiled and replied, "That's right. He thinks that you're stingy. For the sake of your reputation, I have to help you explain it clearly. If he doesn't listen to this normal explanation, he will naturally know the result. He won't think that you're really stingy, right?" Mu Lianfeng realized that he could not win against Zhao Yun, so he could only nod and say, "Yes, yes, yes. Yun, you're right. Next time, you don't have to say too much if others don't like to hear it. Instead, you won't end up well in the end. You can only let them suffer and they'll know." Chapter 14:19. Zhao Yun suddenly thought of what Chen said just now. Although he didn't say it directly, he was complaining that her latrine was too broken and dirty. Zhao Yun could only make do with this current latrine for a while. Although she was indeed not used to using a dirty latrine, she didn't need to repair it. However, there was no need to repair the latrine pit now. After all, the latrine pit here wouldn't take long. Once her new house was built, she would have to fix the latrine in her house properly. After all, after this place was built, she would feel better if she could poop. If it was too dirty, she would feel abnormally uncomfortable every time she went to the toilet. As long as she could avoid going to the toilet, she wouldn't hold it in. Unfortunately, there was no flush toilet in this era. Basically, they used a large vat with 2 planks on it. How great would it be if I could get a flush toilet for my living room? Zhao Yun thought about it and wondered if she could design one. There were actually quite a lot of skilled craftsmen in this era. As long as she designed a flush toilet, it wouldn't be difficult for them to make a flush toilet according to the discovery of firing ceramics. However, this flush toilet didn't seem to be easy to design. She had seen the principle and design drawings before, but it had been too long and she had forgotten a little. Zhao Yun patted her head and tried hard to recall. Seeing that Zhao Yun was thinking about something, Mu Lianfeng asked curiously, "Yun, what are you thinking about?" Xiao Yun waved her hand and explained, nothing big. I'm just thinking about something. If I can make it, we'll be comfortable in the latrine in the future. If the feces could be discharged in time, there wouldn't be any smell in the latrine. After hearing Xiao Yun's words, Mu Lianfeng couldn't help but be curious about what Xiao Yun was thinking about. Xiao Yun had a lot of ideas, many of which she had never heard of before. This time, she might be able to come up with something novel again. Let me try. Xiao Yun said. She went to the table, took a pen and paper, and started to write and draw. Mu Lianfeng stood aside and didn't disturb Xiao Yun. She quietly watched Xiao Yun draw something. However, when she saw the thing on the paper in front of Xiao Yun, Mu Lianfeng couldn't understand it. She had never heard of what Xiao Yun drew, let alone recognize it. Moreover, this thing had a strange shape and was very strange. Xiao Yun frowned and pondered as she drew, as if she was recalling something. She couldn't stop muttering, no, this isn't right, this isn't right. Could it be like this? It doesn't seem right, what's the problem? Xiao Yun supported her chin with her hand and stared at the drawing paper in a daze. Mu Lianfeng quietly accompanied Xiao Yun and didn't speak. She was afraid that she would disturb Xiao Yun after she spoke. Seeing Xiao Yun in deep thought, that serious look of thinking was very cute. Xiao Yun suddenly thought of something and began to draw on the drawing paper again. After a while, a strange thing was drawn on the drawing paper, and there was a detailed composition. Mu Lianfeng glanced at it and asked, Yun, what are you drawing? A toilet bowl. A toilet bowl. Mu Lianfeng was very confused. He had never heard of this term. What's the use of it? Chapter 1420. Mu Lianfeng was obviously stunned, as if he still did not understand what Xiao Yun meant. Xiao Yun could only patiently explain. The flush toilet was indeed a great invention of the 21st century. In ancient times, even emperors could not enjoy it. After listening to Xiao Yun's explanation, Mu Lianfeng was very surprised that there was such a thing in the world. He had not seen it with his own eyes, so he could not imagine what it looked like. However, seeing Xiao Yun's excited look, it seemed like she was looking forward to it. Go back and ask the shop in town. Since porcelain can be made, this thing should be able to be made. Yes, yes. Go and try it. Mu Lianfeng replied. Xiao Yun touched her chin and fell silent. There was a flush toilet but no running water. In this era, it would be difficult to get running water. Fortunately, even if there was no running water, they could just get a bucket in the toilet and scoop some water to flush it. Okay, I'll go to Yang City in 2 days if I have time. Okay. In the next few days, nothing troublesome happened. The days were very comfortable, and Mu Lianfeng also brought good news. The emperor had issued an edict to cancel Mu Lianfeng and Murong Shuang's engagement. At least in terms of marriage, the two of them did not have to worry anymore. The weather was getting hotter, and Xiao Yun's new clothes were almost ready. That afternoon, after she was done with her work, she cooked and sat in front of the bed. After asking Mulan for advice, she fumbled around and made 2 big underpants. Mu Lianfeng sat at the table and taught Daodu how to read. Xiao Yun handed the big underpants to Mu Lianfeng and said to Mu Lianfeng, Here, Mu Lianfeng, this underpants is for you. You can wear it when it's really hot. Mu Lianfeng took it. He had never seen this thing made by Xiao Yun before. With a puzzled expression, she asked Xiao Yuner, can this thing be worn? Of course you can. How cool was that? After taking a shower at night, he could just wear this pair of underwear. It's fine for you men to show your upper bodies, unlike us women. Mu Lianfeng was amused by Zhao Yun. What did he mean by it was fine to show his upper body? They were usually very conservative and had never seen a man with his upper body exposed. Seeing that Mu Lianfeng was laughing without explaining why he was laughing, Zhao Yun'er glared at Mu Lianfeng and asked, "What are you laughing at? What's so funny?" "Yun'er, it's nothing. If you make it for me personally, I will naturally wear it. But, when the time comes, will I sleep in a room alone, or will I sleep with you?" At first, Zhao Yun'er didn't understand what Mu Lianfeng meant by asking this question. After she reacted, she understood. Mu Lianfeng was hinting that if he only wore a pair of underwear and didn't wear any clothes on his upper body, she would see it. Zhao Yun'er blushed slightly. "Before we get married, you will naturally have a room to yourself, and Daodu and I will share a room." Mu Lianfeng regretted asking. If he didn't ask and shamelessly slept with Zhao Yun'er, it would be quite good. "Mother, father has new clothes. Does Daodu have any?" Daodu put down his pen and looked at Zhao Yun'er expectantly. "Of course. Others may not have any, but Daodu will definitely have some." Chapter 14:21. But Daodu's clothes aren't ready yet. You'll have to wait a few days. It's okay, mother. As long as Daodu has it, it's fine. Daodu is so obedient. The reason why Daodu's clothes had to wait a few days was because Zhao Yun'er wasn't the one making them herself. She didn't dare to compliment her handiwork. Mu Lianfeng's underwear was very simple and rough, so it was okay to wear it. Daodu's clothes, on the other hand, had to be sewn properly. Zhao Yun didn't trouble young Jinqiao, so Mulan took on this task. Mulan's needlework was good, so she thought that Daodu's new clothes would be very good. Mu Lianfeng was very curious about the underwear made by Zhao Yun'er, so he held it in his hands and studied it. When Zhao Yun'er saw this, she quickly snatched the underwear back from Mu Lianfeng's hands. Mu Lianfeng looked at Zhao Yun'er with some confusion. "Yun'er, isn't this for me?" "Yes, it's for you. But why are you staring at it like that?" "Because I think that Yun'er's clothes are very novel. I've never seen it before, so I'm curious." The weather isn't hot yet. I'll help you keep it first. When it gets hot, I'll take it out for you to wear." With that, Zhao Yun'er quickly stuffed the 2 pairs of underwear into the cabinet. Mu Lianfeng looked at Zhao Yun'er's reaction and felt puzzled, but at the same time, he couldn't help but laugh. When he saw Zhao Yun'er's red cheeks, Mu Lianfeng seemed to understand something. Is Zhao Yun'er shy? Is it because of the underwear? Just as Zhao Yun'er was feeling embarrassed, Li Chueying's voice suddenly came from outside. Yun'er girl, Zhao Yun'er was puzzled. Why did Li Chueying come looking for her? The two of them had nothing to do with each other, and she had never seen Li Chueying come over before. However, in Zhao Yun'er's impression, wherever Li Chueying appeared, nothing good would happen. She wondered if he was here to cause trouble again. Therefore, when Zhao Yun'er went out, she frowned and looked a little unhappy. When she arrived in front of Li Chueying, she said unhappily to Li Chueying, "Second aunt, why did you come looking for me today?" Zhao Yun'er's attitude wasn't very good, but Li Chueying wasn't angry. Instead, he smiled at Zhao Yun'er and said to Zhao Yun'er, "Yun'er girl, second aunt didn't come looking for you for anything important. I just wanted to give you something." As Li Chueying spoke, he handed over a vegetable basket in his hand. Zhao Yun'er's face was full of confusion. She didn't know what Li Chueying meant. There were 10 eggs in the basket. "Second aunt, what are you doing, Yun'er girl? These 10 eggs are for you. You and your mother have helped our family a lot. We don't have anything good, so we just sent a few eggs over," Li Chueying explained. Zhao Yun'er was even more shocked. Did she hear wrongly? Did these words come out of Li Chueying's mouth? If it had come out of someone else's mouth, she would have believed it. However, when it came out of Li Chueying's mouth, she found it a little hard to believe. Looking at Li Chueying in front of her, he didn't have his usual arrogance. Instead, she felt a sense of familiarity. Zhao Yuner suddenly felt that the world had changed. Li Chueying was usually such a disgusting person, but he could change his personality and become a good person. Chapter 14:22. Zhao Yuner was stunned for a while before she asked in disbelief, "Auntie, are you sure? Are you really giving this to me?" Li Chueying thought that Zhao Yuner was making a fuss over nothing. "Of course. Who else would I give it to if not you?" "No. Auntie, you." Li Chueying seemed to have guessed what Zhao Yuner was thinking and said apologetically, "Hey, Yuner, I didn't do well in the past. I went overboard with some things. I won't do it again in the future. Now I know in my heart that whoever is good to me, of course, I will be good to that person in the future. You're a good child. I let you down in the past. Take these 10 eggs as second aunt's compensation to you. It's a pity that I don't have anything good at home, so I can only give you these." Zhao Yuner was still in shock and couldn't react. Was this a joke? How did the world change so suddenly? Li Chueying's sudden realization caught her off guard. Was he faking it? Looking at Li Chueying's sincere gaze, it didn't seem like he was faking it. This is really strange. Alright, Yuner, Auntie still has work to do when I get back. Just accept the gift. With that, Li Chueying turned and left. She looked at Li Chueying's back as he left and then looked at the eggs in her hand. She was still in a daze and felt like she was in a dream. "Yuner, what's wrong?" Mu Lianfeng saw Zhao Yuner's dazed expression and thought that something had happened. He also saw Li Chueying coming over. Usually, Li Chueying liked to cause trouble when he came over. Could it be that he said something that upset Zhao Yuner? No. Nothing. Zhao Yuner forced a smile and replied with a smile. "What did Auntie Li do?" "No. Nothing." "Then what are you, Mu Lianfeng, I feel that my second aunt has suddenly changed." "Changed?" Mu Lianfeng looked at Zhao Yuner in confusion. "Yes. What do you think can make a person's temperament change so drastically?" Zhao Yuner touched her chin and muttered. Mu Lianfeng pondered for a while and said to Zhao Yuner, "Generally speaking, when a person's temperament changes drastically, something must have happened. It could be some difficulties or something." "Difficulties?" Zhao Yuner muttered a sentence in her mouth. What kind of difficulties did her second aunt encounter these days? Thinking about it, he didn't hear anything big happened. Otherwise, he would definitely know. After all, they were so far away from each other. How could she not know what was going on in old Zhao's house? Except for the incident where Li Chueying fell into the manure pit. Could it be that Li Chueying's temperament changed drastically because of this? At this thought, Zhao Yuner couldn't help but want to laugh. This was really a difficult situation. If Li Chueying's temperament really changed drastically because of this, it would be quite funny. This was the first time she had heard of it. It was unheard of. If someone was cured because of this, would he just stuff that person into the manure pit when he saw that they were incurable? Seeing Zhao Yuner clutching her stomach and laughing, Mu Lianfeng was puzzled. Wasn't she in a daze just now? Why did she suddenly start laughing? What was so funny? He didn't say anything. Chapter 14:23. I was thinking that everyone's difficulties and hardships are different. My second aunt. Her hardships are a little funny, but it's a good thing that people can change. Old Zhao's family finally has one less troublemaker. Mu Lianfeng was silent for a moment, then the corners of his mouth twitched and he chuckled softly. Zhao Yuner and Mu Lianfeng looked at each other. Just as they were about to return to the kitchen and put down the eggs, they saw another figure walking towards them. It was Xiao Ping'er. Li Chuiying had just left, and now Xiao Ping'er was behind her. Zhao Yuner's first reaction was to wonder if Xiao Ping'er had suddenly changed like Li Chuiying. Sister Ping'er, how come you have time to come here today? What's the matter? Zhao Yuner asked indifferently. Zhao Ping'er bit her lower lip. If she wasn't forced to, why would she come to Zhao Yuner and pay attention to Zhao Yuner's mood? Seeing Zhao Yuner's stiff face, Zhao Ping'er forced a smile and said, Sister Yuner. I came here because I need you to do me a favor. Zhao Yuner chuckled. Me? Help. Sister Ping'er, what's the matter that you can't do on your own? Why do you need me to come over and help? Zhao Ping'er nodded heavily. That's right, Sister Yuner. Other than you, no one else can help me. Ha! Zhao Yuner didn't reply and only laughed dryly. Sister Yuner. Can you help me? Seeing Zhao Ping'er's expectant gaze, Zhao Yuner coldly refused. Help you? Why should I help you? Do I have an obligation to help you? After being rebuked by Zhao Yuner, Zhao Ping'er's face turned ugly. She had already spoken so nicely to Zhao Yuner. Why wouldn't Zhao Yuner help her? After all, she was her biological sister, right? Zhao Yuner, you can't not help me. Zhao Ping'er couldn't help but blurt out. Why can't we help? Ping'er, this is the first time I've heard of someone asking for help in such a tone. Even if I don't help you, what can you do about it? Zhao Ping'er's eyes reddened. Indeed, she couldn't do anything to Zhao Yuner. But if Zhao Yuner didn't help her, then she would be finished. Sister Yuner, I came here personally to beg you. Zhao Ping'er hid the displeasure on her face and said to Zhao Yuner with an ugly smile. Zhao Yuner mercilessly retorted, Sister Ping'er, what are you saying? You came here to beg me for help. If you didn't come here personally, did you want someone else to do it for you? Sister Yuner. Zhao Ping'er was speechless for a moment. If it were any other time, she would have turned around and left already. Why would she be annoyed in front of Zhao Yuner? Now that she was forced into a corner, she swallowed her anger and continued, Sister Yuner. Please help me. I won't help you. Sister Yuner. You haven't heard what I said. It's not difficult for you to help me. Sister Yuner, if you don't help me, then I'm finished. For the sake of us sisters, you can't let me die, right? Zhao Yuner frowned. If she didn't help Zhao Ping'er, would Zhao Ping'er die? It shouldn't be that serious, right? Chapter 14:24. At the thought of this, Zhao Ping'er's heart felt a little stifled. She had thought that she was doing well and that business would slowly improve after a few more days. However, she had imagined the reality to be too perfect, and there were still not many people coming. She only earned a few dozen copper coins a day. She did not know when she would be able to recover the money she had invested. She was not very anxious, but Mu Chunfang was very anxious. Every day, she would come back and nag at him. If she did not earn much money, she would be scolded badly. If this continued, she did not know what would happen. In addition, Qin Yuan had been good to her, but in the past 2 days, his attitude had gradually cooled and he ignored her. In addition, Ma Xiaofeng had urged her to come and beg Zhao Yuner. Zhao Ping had no choice but to come over. Zhao Yuner looked at Zhao Ping'er. She did not know where Zhao Ping got the nerve to say such things. Sister Ping'er, this is my way of earning money. Who knows when I will set up a stall to sell breakfast again. If I teach you, what should I do in the future? Zhao Ping'er frowned and said, Sister Yun, you have many ways to earn money. You will definitely not rely on selling breakfast to earn money in the future. Xiao Yun snorted softly. How do you know that I won't? Of course not, Sister Yun. You will earn big money in the future. You will definitely not be interested in this small amount of money. Even if that is the case, why should I teach you my way of earning money? Because we are blood-related sisters. We came from the same mother's womb. Blood-related siblings should help each other. Sister Ping, even blood-related siblings should settle accounts clearly. Who said that we should help each other? If there is no benefit at all, I will not do this kind of business. Xiao Yun rubbed her chin as she spoke. Actually, Xiao Ping was right. She would not set up a breakfast stall again. Waking up early every day was too tiring. Most importantly, if he was busy with these things, he wouldn't have so much time to accompany Mu Lianfeng and Daodu. Unless they couldn't survive, some of them neglected their children in order to earn money. Daodu was at the age where he needed someone to accompany him, and parents needed to stay by his side. It was more beneficial for the child's growth. In addition, now that she had found a more profitable and easier way to earn money, there was no need for her to go out and make a fuss. Even if she didn't need to set up a stall to make money, Xiao Yun still didn't want to let Xiao Ping take advantage of her. After listening to Xiao Yun's words, Xiao Ping was silent for a moment. She understood what Xiao Yun meant. Yun, how about this? Teach me the recipe. If I make money, I'll give you 2 cents. That way, you can earn more. That's why you don't have to work. It's a free trip. You don't lose anything. As Xiao Ping spoke, she stared at Xiao Yun expectantly. Xiao Yun thought about it. She could sit at home and take money for free while Xiao Ping and the others worked hard. That was fine. However, Xiao Yun still shook her head. Sister Ping, I'll only get 2 cents. Isn't that too little? Yun, it's not little. I'll pay for the costs and do the work. I'll give you 2 cents of the net profits. Xiao Fang and I still have to split the rest. Xiao Ping muttered. Xiao Yun curled her lips. That's too little. Then what do you want? How much do you want? Can I give you 30%? Xiao Yun shook her head. Chapter 14:25. Xiao Yun was too greedy. How much did she want? Little sister Yun, how about I give you 40%? I've already split the remaining 60% with Xiaofeng. Each of us only gets 30%, which is less than you. You can't ask for too much, right? Xiao Yun smiled and said, how much do you think I want? You don't have to beg me. I'm not forcing you. This sentence made Xiao Ping unable to argue. Indeed, Xiao Yun didn't ask her to share the profits. She was the one who suggested it. At the same time, she was still begging her. Otherwise, she wouldn't be able to run her stall in the future. Little sister Yun, Then tell me, how much do you want? If I think it's okay, I'll naturally agree. Seeing that Xiao Ping had spoken, Xiao Yun didn't stand on ceremony. If you really want me to help you, we're in a cooperative relationship. I'll provide the prescription, and you'll do the work. With my prescription, you can only do business. So, I'll get a little more. I'll get 60%, and you'll get 40%. If you think it's okay, I'll teach you now. If not, then do as you please. When she heard that Xiao Yun wanted 60%, and she only got 40%, Xiao Ping immediately exploded. Xiao Yun, you're too black-hearted. You get 60%, and I only get 40%. After I split it with Xiaofeng, that means I only get 20%. How much more money can I make? Isn't it obvious that I'm at a disadvantage? Zhao Ping felt that she would only agree to this kind of obvious disadvantage unless she was stupid. She had invested in everything in this stall. Why should she get so little? She had worked so hard. Wouldn't she be helping Zhao Yun earn all the money? Other than coming up with a prescription, Zhao Yun just sat at home and counted the money. There was simply no better deal than this. Zhao Yun chuckled and calculated the accounts with Zhao Ping Sister Ping when you say that we're at a disadvantage, we really aren't at a disadvantage. I make breakfast, and the customers like it. With so many people coming, business is good. According to my previous business, I earn 1 or 2 taels of silver a day. Even if you only get 20%, that's at least 200 copper coins a day. That's 6 taels of silver a month. Isn't that a lot? If he had bought a better one, it would have cost more than that. Whether it's worth it or not, you have to weigh it in your heart. After listening to Zhao Yun'er's calculations, Zhao Ping'er understood that she could earn a lot more if she cooperated with Zhao Yun'er. 30 to 40 copper coins a day was simply impossible. But, you can't get 60%. How about we split it 50-50? Zhao Ping'er couldn't bear to part with the money and continued to discuss with Zhao Yun'er. Zhao Yun'er's face suddenly darkened. Sister Ping'er, since you don't want to cooperate, then forget it. Let's go. I still have things to do. Seeing that Zhao Yun'er didn't relent, Zhao Ping'er's chest was blocked by a lump of anger. Then I'll go and discuss with Xiao Feng first and ask her what she thinks. Zhao Ping made a concession and said to Zhao Yun'er. Zhao Yun'er nodded, okay. You go and ask. Zhao Ping said and trotted in the direction of Ma Xiaofeng's house. Zhao Yun'er turned around and happened to meet Mu Lianfeng's eyes. Seeing Mu Lianfeng staring at her, Zhao Yun'er asked, why are you looking at me? Mu Lianfeng shook his head, nothing. I just feel that Yun'er, it seems that no one can take advantage of you. Chapter 14:26. For example, this time, Zhao Ping wanted to ask her for help. It wasn't that she didn't agree, but she had to take some of Zhao Ping'er's money. She didn't do anything and took 60% of it. Naturally, it was enough to make Zhao Ping'er feel the pinch. Looking at Zhao Ping'er's pained expression, it was obvious. However, Mu Lianfeng suddenly revealed a strange smile. Zhao Yun'er's heart trembled violently. She felt that Mu Lianfeng was up to no good. Sure enough, Mu Lianfeng suddenly put his arm around Zhao Yun'er's waist and kissed Zhao Yun'er on the lips. Zhao Yun'er was stunned. She saw Mu Lianfeng quickly kiss her on the lips. After the kiss, he let go of her as if he was savoring the aftertaste. He said with a teasing tone, Yun'er, did I take advantage of you now? Will you ask for it back with double the price? Zhao Yun'er blushed. When she met Mu Lianfeng's calculating eyes, she glared at Mu Lianfeng. This guy, dream on. I won't. Why? Mu Lianfeng asked teasingly. I'll be at a disadvantage if I ask for it back. However, you made a move on me in broad daylight. I still have to punish you properly. How will I punish you? Tonight, you'll sleep on the floor alone. Don't get on my bed. When Mu Lianfeng heard this, his expression changed slightly. He started to regret it. Now, his wife had suffered a setback. His plan didn't work out. Instead, he was kicked off the bed by Zhao Yun'er. Originally, Mu Lianfeng wanted to coax Zhao Yun'er, but when he met Zhao Yun'er's stubborn little face, he knew that Zhao Yun'er was serious. She could only nod and agree with Zhao Yuner. Okay, Yuner, I'll sleep under the bed tonight. On the other hand, Zhao Ping ran to Ma Xiaofeng's house. Ma Xiaofeng was still serving Qian Chuanxiu. This time, Qian Chuanxiu's vitality was greatly damaged, much more seriously than Zhao Wenshui's. After a few days of recuperation and application of ointment, Zhao Wenshui's injury on his buttocks had improved a lot. If he was careful, he could even get out of bed and move around. Qian Chuanxiu was not as lucky as Zhao Wenshui. After a few days of recuperation, not only did his condition not improve, it even worsened. The buttocks that had been spanked began to swell and even began to fester. There were signs of ulceration. Qian Chuanxiu, on the other hand, was lying on the bed, looking half dead. Ma Xiaofeng was also very anxious these days. No matter what, Qian Chuanxiu was her mother. Other than her younger brother, Qian Chuanxiu was her only family. She was not married yet, so nothing could happen to Qian Chuanxiu. But now, she had no money and no other way to cure Qian Chuanxiu. Last time, all the money at home was used to sell a bottle of ointment. Now, the family could not take out any money. If it were not for the fact that she and Zhao Ping set up a stall together and had an income every day, she was afraid that even eating would be a problem. Mother, let me wipe your buttocks. Ma Xiaofeng brought over a basin of water and placed it in front of Qian Chuanxiu. Qian Chuanxiu responded. She knew how badly her buttocks were injured. Every day, she was in so much pain that she almost could not bear it anymore. If this continued, she was afraid that she would really lose her life. Ma Xiaofeng took a cloth and gently wiped Qian Chuanxiu's buttocks. Seeing that the injury on Qian Chuanxiu's buttocks was getting more and more serious, she could not help but sigh heavily. Xiao Feng, what's wrong? Qian Chuanxiu asked in a weak voice. Chapter 14:27. Mother, the injury on your butt is getting more and more serious. What should we do? There's nothing we can do. We don't have any money. We can't hire a doctor or buy medicine. Qian Chuanxiu said helplessly. Mother, this injury can't be delayed any longer. Otherwise, who knows what problems will arise. Xiao Feng, what should we do? There's nothing we can do. Ma Xiaofeng frowned and thought for a moment. They didn't even have anything valuable at home. There was no way they could take out money to treat Qian Chuanxiu's injury. With the severity of Qian Chuanxiu's injury, without a few taels of silver, it couldn't be treated. And a few taels of silver was a huge income. Their family couldn't take it out. Originally, Ma Xiaofeng was looking forward to setting up a stall with Zhao Ping, to earn more money to treat her mother's illness. Now, she knew that she was just thinking too much. The business of the stall didn't improve. They earned 30 to 40 copper coins a day. They could only save a few taels of silver after a few months. This was under the condition that they didn't spend anything. After a few months, she didn't know if her mother's life would be saved. Mother, why don't you sell me? If you sell me, you can get a lot of money to treat your injury. Ma Xiaofeng suddenly had this idea. When Qian Chuanxiu heard it, she immediately reprimanded angrily, Xiao Feng, what are you saying? Even if I die, I won't sell you. Besides being angry, Qian Chuanxiu was also touched. This showed that her daughter loved her dearly and was filial to her. Otherwise, she wouldn't say these words. But mother, if you don't sell me, what will you do? We can't borrow money, and we can't get it. Are we just going to stay here and let your injury worsen? Xiao Feng, mother is fine. Maybe I'll be fine after enduring for a while. Mother. I've endured for these few days. If I recovered, I would have recovered long ago. Xiao Feng, don't think so much. Take one step at a time. If I really can't recover, that's my fate. Seeing Qian Chuanqiu's insistence, Ma Xiaofeng wiped her tears again. She still had to think of another way. At this moment, Zhao Ping's voice came from outside. Little Feng, little Feng. Little Feng. Ma Xiaofeng put the towel into the basin and wiped the tears from her eyes before leaving the house. She asked Zhao Ping, Sister Ping, what's wrong? Did something happen? Xiao Feng, didn't you ask me to beg Zhao Yuner? I did, but Xiao Feng, what's wrong, Sister Ping, Xiao Feng. Although she agreed, she said that we'll give her 60% of the money we earn and we'll get 40%. Hearing Zhao Ping's words, Ma Xiaofeng couldn't remain calm. What? Sister Ping, she asked for 60%. Zhao Ping sighed and said, yeah, she insisted on 60%. No matter what, she wouldn't agree to give us less. Ma Xiaofeng's expression was uncertain. Without Zhao Yuner's idea, their business probably wouldn't be good. Although it wasn't a small amount, it was still a lot less than what she expected. Ma Xiaofeng couldn't help but scold, 60%. Isn't she clearly robbing us? We worked ourselves to death and got 40%, but she didn't do anything and got 60%. How is that possible? Ping has said. Isn't she too much? Chapter 14:28. She just doesn't want to help. That's why she's deliberately making things difficult for us. If she really wanted to help, she wouldn't be like this. AI. Then Xiao Feng, should we agree or not? If we agree, we'll give her 60%. If we don't agree, we have no other choice. After hearing Zhao Ping's words, Ma Xiaofeng was somewhat unwilling. Sister Ping, what can we do? There's no way at all. If we continue like this, we'll only earn a few dozen copper coins a day. I'm afraid that the business won't be good. So Xiao Feng. We have to find her to cooperate. If we cooperate, even if we get 20%, we'll still earn a few hundred copper coins a day. It's much better than what we're earning now. I just want to give most of the money to Zhao Yuner, so I'm unwilling. Zhao Ping muttered. Hearing Zhao Ping's words, Ma Xiaofeng's heart was even more tangled. On one hand, she was unwilling to give so much to Zhao Yuner. On the other hand, she didn't want to only earn a few dozen copper coins a day. Sister Ping, why don't we pretend to agree? When we learn how to make breakfast later, we'll regret it. Even if she wants to make trouble, it won't work. Ma Xiaofeng's eyes turned as she calculated. Hearing Ma Xiaofeng's words, Zhao Ping nodded excitedly. Xiao Feng, you're right. This idea is really good. We can pretend to agree first and then regret it later. Why is my brain so inflexible? I didn't think of it. Xiao Feng, you're still the smart one. Ma Xiaofeng curled her lips and snorted coldly in her heart. With her intelligence, how could Zhao Ping compare? Sister Ping, then go and agree with her. NN. Zhao Ping ran in the direction of Zhao Yuner's house. Now that she knew that she could earn more money, Ma Xiaofeng was relieved. As long as she saved enough money, her mother's but would be saved. Zhao Ping eagerly went to Zhao Yuner's house and called out to Zhao Yuner. Little Sister Yuner, Little Sister Yuner. Sister Ping, have you thought it through? Zhao Yuner saw Zhao Ping coming over and smiled. Yes, yes. Zhao Ping nodded heavily. Little Sister Yuner, let's do as you say. You get 60%, and we get 40%. Now you can tell me how to make breakfast, right? Zhao Yuner said unhurriedly, what's the hurry? There's no proof. We have to make a written agreement now. We have to write down our agreement clearly in black and white. Otherwise, what if you go back on your words? Zhao Ping was stunned when she heard the written agreement. She didn't expect to need a written agreement, but Zhao Yuner actually brought it up and thought of it. It was easy to go back on your words without a written agreement, but it was difficult to go back on your words after making a written agreement. This Zhao Yuner was really good at scheming. Seeing Zhao Ping's pale face, Zhao Yuner could almost guess. Zhao Ping and Ma Xiaofeng probably said that they would go back on their words when they discussed it. Zhao Yun had guessed the two people's little schemes clearly. Naturally, he wouldn't give them a chance to succeed. Sister Ping, what's the matter? Can't it work? If it doesn't work, then let's forget about it. Zhao Yuner sneered and said, after all, there's no written agreement. In the future, it won't be clear, and it'll be troublesome if something happens. If you're sincere about cooperating, it won't be difficult to make a written agreement, right? Chapter 1429. I don't know if I'm shameless or not, but Big Sister Ping, if you sign a contract, you definitely won't be shameless in the future. You. Zhao Ping panicked and didn't know what to do. What's wrong? Big Sister Ping, you don't want to sign a contract. Are you thinking of being shameless in the future? Meeting Zhao Yun's eyes, Zhao Ping's expression stiffened. After trying hard to pull the corners of her mouth, she said, Of course not. Zhao Yun chuckled and said, that's good. Then, Big Sister Ping, let's sign a contract now. Big Sister Yun, there's no need to go through so much trouble, right? Zhao Ping smiled embarrassedly and pulled out an ugly smile. It's not troublesome. It's just writing a few words. Big Sister Yun, seeing Zhao Ping dilly-dallying, Zhao Yun couldn't help but sneer. Big Sister Ping, why are you hesitating? Do you want to sign a contract or not? Say it. If you don't, then let's forget about it. I don't want to have any disputes in the future. Also, Big Sister Ping, you're obviously not sincere. Naturally, there's no need for us to cooperate. Zhao Ping bit her lower lip. She was speechless at Zhao Yun's words. This B*TCH was forcing her to sign a contract. Great, now how could she go back on her word? Should she go and discuss it with Ma Xiaofeng again? Big Sister Ping, have you thought it through? I don't have that much time to waste with you. I'll say the ugly words first. If you don't agree to sign a contract now, don't look for me for this matter later. I don't have the leisure to play with you. Zhao Ping made up her mind and stomped her foot. I'll sign a contract with you. Zhao Ping was forced to do this. If she went to ask Ma Xiaofeng again, Zhao Yun wouldn't give her the chance. If she really couldn't go back on her word in the future, she would give Zhao Yun her 60% of the income, and that was what she earned. The corner of Zhao Yun's mouth slightly raised. Seeing that Zhao Ping was tricked by her, she was very satisfied. In the end, when it came to scheming, Zhao Ping was still inexperienced in front of her. After getting Zhao Ping's nod of agreement, Zhao Yun turned around and went into the house to take a piece of paper. She dipped the brush in ink and wrote a few lines after a while, agreeing on the future profit sharing. When the brush landed, there were a few lines of delicate and pretty words on the paper. Mu Lianfeng watched from the side. When he saw Zhao Yun's handwriting, he sighed in his heart. Yun's handwriting was really beautiful and had a unique style. He admired Zhao Yun even more. After writing, Zhao Yun put away the brush and greeted Zhao Ping. Big Sister Ping, come over and sign your name. Zhao Ping frowned and walked over. When she saw the few lines on the paper, she muttered in her heart. Little sister Yun, how do you know how to write? In addition to being surprised, Xiao Ping was also a little jealous. One had to know that it was very rare to see a woman who could write in the entire village. This was because the people in the village were very poor. Not to mention women, there were very few men who could read. Many families couldn't produce a scholar. Old Zhao's family could be considered relatively wealthy in the village. Otherwise, they wouldn't have produced 2 scholars. Therefore, old Zhao's family more or less had some status in the village. Why? Don't I know how to read? Xiao Yun asked with a smile. Chapter 1430. Xiao Yun made up an excuse. I learned it from fifth uncle. What's the big deal about it? It's your fault for not learning from fifth uncle. You don't even know how good the resources are around you. Xiao Ping glared at Xiao Yun. Although she didn't say it, Xiao Ping felt a little upset. Why was she so stupid? Xiao Yun knew to learn from her fifth uncle, but why didn't she know? If she could also read, then she would naturally be different from ordinary women. As the saying goes, one's talent comes from being educated. If Qin Yuan knew that she could read, their attitude towards her would naturally be different. However, it was useless for Xiao Ping to be upset now. Some things were missed. Xiao Ping snorted and said to Xiao Yun, so what if you can read? It's not a big deal. Xiao Yun curled her lips and didn't argue with Xiao Ping. Okay, Sister Ping, hurry up and sign your name. Xiao Ping muttered. Xiao Yun, are you doing this on purpose? You know that I can't read, so how do you know how to sign your name? Sister Ping, although I know that you can't read, you can't even write your own name. Xiao Yun was really surprised. After all, illiterates in the 21st century could basically write their own names even if they couldn't read. It wasn't as if old Zhao's family didn't have a scholar. Could it be that he didn't teach Xiao Ping? Or was it that Xiao Ping was too lazy and didn't learn at all? Sister Ping, since you can't write your own name, then put your thumbprint. With that said, Xiao Yun took the ink pad and handed it to Xiao Ping. Xiao Ping hesitated for a moment, but in the end, she still pressed her thumbprint. Xiao Yun wrote a total of 2 contracts. Both of them signed their names. One was given to Xiao Ping, and the other was kept by herself. After waiting for the contract to be signed, Xiao Ping muttered, Sister Yun, now that the contract is signed, can you teach me how to make breakfast? Xiao Yun chuckled and said, sure. Okay. That's good. Xiao Yun had prepared some meat at home. After cutting half a jean, she began to teach Xiao Ping how to make it. Xiao Ping looked at it and muttered in her heart. It wasn't any different from what Liang Jinqiao taught. Why was the taste different? Sister Ping, what are you thinking about? Look carefully. I don't have that many ingredients to teach you a second time. Xiao Yun saw that Xiao Ping was in a daze, so she quickly reminded her. She didn't know what Xiao Ping was thinking at this time. Xiao Ping came back to her senses. However, she was still thinking in her heart. Since what she did was right, what exactly went wrong? After the stuffing was ready, Xiao Yun took out a packet of something. Xiao Ping couldn't recognize what it was. She saw Xiao Yun made some of this powdery stuff and mixed it into the stuffing, then said to her, Sister Ping, this is enough. Have you learned it? Xiao Ping frowned. She knew the other steps. They were no different from what Liang Jinqiao had taught her. However, she didn't know what was added to the last step. She guessed that the breakfast made by her and Ma Xiaofeng was so different from the breakfast made by Zhao Yun, because of this last addition. But what exactly was this thing? Chapter 1431. Zhao Yun's lips curled into a mysterious smile. Zhao Ping had never seen such a thing before. She was afraid that such a thing didn't exist in this era. Zhao Yun didn't add anything else but fresh mushrooms picked from the mountains. These mushrooms were dried and ground into powder. In this era, there was only table salt and other simple seasonings. There was no such thing as monosodium glutamate or chicken essence to improve the taste. The powder made from these mushrooms had the effect of improving the taste of the ingredients when added to them. Therefore, it had a delicious taste when eaten. In the breakfast made by Zhao Ping and Ma Xiaofeng, it was precisely because it lacked the powder made from the mushrooms that it lacked the freshness. Therefore, the taste of the snacks made couldn't be compared to Zhao Yun's. Zhao Yun naturally wouldn't tell Zhao Ping so easily. Instead, she faintly replied, "Sister Ping, this is my secret recipe. In the future, when you sell out, I'll give you more. However, I can't tell you how to make this thing." Zhao Yun had a bottom line when doing things. After all, she didn't trust Zhao Ping. Speaking of which, Ma Xiaofeng was even more suspicious. Ma Xiaofeng was a scheming person. Who knew if she would provoke Zhao Ping to turn around and not give her a share of the money? Once Zhao Ping went back on her word, she would no longer provide Zhao Ping with the powder made from the mushrooms. Without the fresh taste, Zhao Ping's business would be the same as before. Zhao Ping stared at Zhao Yun. This little b*tch was really scheming. She even deliberately guarded against her. Now that there was a written agreement in Zhao Yun's secret recipe, she had no choice but to give Zhao Yun a share of the money later. Zhao Yun, in any case, I'm your sister. Why are you guarding against me? Zhao Ping complained with dissatisfaction. She had a lot of opinions about Zhao Yun's actions. Zhao Yun faintly said, "Sister Ping, it's not that I'm guarding against you, but you have to be careful. Don't do business with Ma Xiaofeng. You'll be cheated by her. Do you really think she's so easy to deal with? From the beginning to the end, it's only profits. Only someone like you would happily bring her along to earn money." Zhao Yun's words made Zhao Ping very uncomfortable. She angrily glared at Zhao Yun and said, "Don't try to drive a wedge between me and Xiaofeng. I won't listen. It's fine if you don't listen. I won't be the one to lose. Sister Ping, you're on your own. I'm too lazy to talk to you. It just so happens that I'm also too lazy to talk to you. Since Sister Ping has learned it now, take the things and leave." Zhao Yun said as she handed Zhao Ping a bag of powder made from mushrooms. After Zhao Ping got it, she angrily turned around and left Zhao Yun's house. She took the things and turned to Ma Xiaofeng's house. After arriving at Ma Xiaofeng's house, Zhao Ping told Ma Xiaofeng what happened. Ma Xiaofeng's face darkened. She didn't expect Zhao Yun to have so many tricks up her sleeve. All her evil intentions didn't work on Zhao Yun. Now there was no other way. She could only take one step at a time. It was fine as long as she could earn more money than now. "Sister Ping, let's do this. Let's try the taste and see if it's different after adding this." Zhao Ping nodded heavily. Chapter 1432. Zhao Ping said excitedly to Ma Xiaofeng, "Xiaofeng, it's really delicious." Ma Xiaofeng nodded lightly. He was curious about what kind of seasoning Zhao Yun had given him. Why did the taste change so much after adding it? It was simply too magical. He had never seen this kind of thing before, so he probably couldn't buy it. Otherwise, he wouldn't have needed Zhao Yun. Seeing that the matter was settled and it was getting late, Zhao Ping said goodbye and went back. She didn't dare to go back to the family Qin too late. These few days, Mu Chuanfang's temper had been very bad. Once she did something wrong, she would be scolded badly. It was terrible. When she went back, she definitely had to help cook dinner. Now that she was married, Zhao Ping realized that a person's temper could really be smoothed out by some things. She definitely didn't dare to throw a tantrum like she did in old Zhao's house. Otherwise, she would be tortured to death by the family Qin. Fortunately, Zhao Ping got the recipe from Zhao Yun, so the business was quite good for the next few days. Indeed, just as Zhao Yun has said, there were at least 200 copper coins a day. Sometimes, there were even 400 to 500 copper coins. It was much better than before, when there were only a few dozen copper coins. Although it didn't meet the family Qin's expectations, the family Qin didn't continue to make things difficult for Zhao Ping. After all, earning so much money in a day was already a lot for a country bumpkin. Country bumpkins couldn't earn so much in a day if they did other businesses. At this rate, they could buy 1 mu of land in a month. In a year, the family Qin could buy at least 10 mu of land. In a few years, they could become the landlords of the village. They would go from being poor farmers to being rich. After a few more days like this, Zhao Ping earned some spare money and couldn't help but want to go to Yang City to buy some clothes. Unfortunately, a piece of clothing was not cheap. Every day, Zhao Ping had to hand over all the money she earned to Mu Chuanfang. She could only secretly keep a few copper coins. He thought that he would be able to save quite a bit of money over time. However, it would take a lot of time for her to save up enough money to buy a dress. She didn't have the money to buy clothes, but she had enough to buy snacks. Those sweets, peanuts, and melon seeds were Zhao Ping's favorites. Moreover, it wasn't very expensive, so he didn't need to buy too much. He just needed to weigh it casually to satisfy his appetite. After setting up the stall, Zhao Ping tugged at Ma Xiaofeng and said, "Xiaofeng, we worked so hard to earn money. Why don't we buy some snacks to eat? You worked so hard, so you should reward yourself." Ma Xiaofeng frowned and declined. "Ping, Jia, if you want to buy it, then buy it. I won't buy it." Zhao Ping looked at Ma Xiaofeng in confusion and said, "Why, Xiaofeng? These snacks aren't expensive. Buy some to satisfy your cravings." Ma Xiaofeng shook her head. "Ping, Jia, I'm not like you. I still need to save my money to treat my mother's illness." "Xiaofeng, what happened to your mother? Is your mother okay?" Zhao Ping asked worriedly. "I don't know if my mother is okay or not, but my mother's injuries are quite serious. Not only did the wound on her but not recover, it became more serious. I think the village's doctor won't be able to treat her. I have to find a doctor in Yang City to treat her. However, the doctor in Yang City will definitely be very expensive, so I have to save more money and use this money to hire a doctor to treat my mother's illness." Chapter 1433. Xiao Feng. "Alright, then you save it well. But how much will it cost?" "You've already saved 2 taels of silver." Ma Xiaofeng shook her head and said, "I don't know how much silver it will cost, but 5 or 6 taels of silver should be enough." 5 or 6 taels. Then I'll have to save it for a few days. Ma Xiaofeng sighed and said, "Yes, I still have to wait. I don't know if my mother's injury can hold on." Zhao Ping patted Ma Xiaofeng's shoulder and comforted her. "Xiao Feng, don't worry, your mother will be fine. And I won't buy snacks with the money I have. I'll save some for you. When the time comes, you can use it to treat your mother's illness. Ma Xiaofeng looked at Zhao Ping emotionally and said to Zhao Ping, Sister Ping, you're so good to me. Zhao Ping chuckled, Xiao Feng, you're my good friend. Of course I'm good to you. Otherwise, who else can I be good to? Just as they were about to go back, Zhao Ping suddenly felt a little uncomfortable. She covered her mouth as if she wanted to vomit. Ma Xiaofeng hurriedly asked, Sister Ping, what's wrong with you? Are you feeling uncomfortable? Zhao Ping vomited for a while before she recovered. She frowned and replied, I don't know what's wrong. I just feel a little uncomfortable these days. I always feel like vomiting, especially in the morning. Vomiting? Sister Ping, are you sick? Do you want to see a doctor? It's very expensive to see a doctor. If you're sick, won't it cost a lot of money? Sister Ping, take a look first. Let's go to the clinic. The doctor's fee is only 10 copper coins. The expensive thing is the medicine. Take a look first and don't buy any medicine. Zhao Pinger nodded and felt that it was fine. Alright, Xiaofeng, let's go to the clinic to have a look later. If there is any illness, we can know in time. It won't take too long. That's right, Sister Ping, Your health is more important, Ma Xiaofeng said. She didn't really care about Zhao Ping, but she was now doing business with Zhao Ping, Without Zhao Ping, she couldn't make so much money in a day. For her own sake, she couldn't let anything happen to Zhao Ping, The two of them went to the clinic together. There were not many people at this time, so they quickly lined up and saw the doctor. The doctor glanced at Zhao Ping, and asked faintly, What's wrong with you? Where do you feel uncomfortable? Doctor, I've been feeling like vomiting for the past few days. I don't know what's wrong. Want to vomit? Yes, especially in the morning. The doctor's eyes turned, and he seemed to think of something. He hurriedly said, Give me your hand. I'll take your pulse. Oh. Zhao Ping responded and handed her hand over. After taking her pulse, the doctor took back his hand and smiled at Zhao Ping, Miss, congratulations. Zhao Ping looked at the doctor in confusion and asked, Doctor, why are you congratulating me? I'm not feeling well, and you're congratulating me. Do you want to see me feel uncomfortable? The doctor smiled and waved his hand. Miss, you misunderstood. There's nothing wrong with your body. The reason why you feel like vomiting is that you're pregnant. Hearing that she was pregnant, Zhao Ping was stunned. She had thought of many possibilities, but she didn't expect that she would be pregnant. Chapter 1434. Of course, Mississippi. Why would I lie to you? Your pulse is pregnant. I've been treating patients for so many years. How could I not know? After getting the doctor's answer, Zhao Ping was delighted. She smiled brightly and said to Ma Xiaofeng, Xiaofeng, did you hear that? The doctor said that I'm pregnant. Like Zhao Ping, Ma Xiaofeng was stunned at first. When she came back to her senses, she smiled and said to Zhao Ping, Sister Ping, congratulations. You're pregnant after being married for so long. When your husband's family finds out, they'll be overjoyed. Zhao Ping looked proud. Indeed, as Ma Xiaofeng said, a woman's status in her husband's family would be high when she was pregnant and gave birth to a child. Generally, women who couldn't give birth would be disliked by their husband's family. Xiaofeng, let's go back quickly. I'll tell my parents-in-law and brother Xian the good news. They'll be very happy when they hear it. Ma Xiaofeng responded, okay, let's go back now. Zhao Ping sent Ma Xiaofeng to Shuilan village first. She thought that since she was already there, she might as well tell Liang Jinchao the good news. She didn't go to old Zhao's house much these days because of what Liang Jinchao said last time. Usually, she didn't have much to do, but this time, she was pregnant. If she told Liang Jinchao about it, maybe Liang Jinchao would feel sorry for her and send her more good food. After all, her mother still cared about her. With this thought, Zhao Ping happily went to old Zhao's house. Seeing Zhao Ping come over, Feng Zhangxia said sarcastically, Ping, you're back. Do you have something important to say this time? Or is your business doing well and you're sending money to your mother? Zhao Ping glanced at Feng Zhangxia angrily. She ignored Feng Zhangxia and went straight into the room of the third branch. Mother, Zhao Ping called out a few times. After hearing Zhao Ping's voice, Liang Jinchao looked in the direction of the door. Zhao Ping had already entered the room. Liang Jinchao asked, Ping, what's the matter? Why are you here again? Zhao Ping thought that Liang Jinchao. You lass, it's not that mother isn't happy to see you. Isn't it because I'm afraid that others will gossip? Mother. I'm here this time because I have something important to tell you. Liang Jinchao tugged at Zhao Ping's hand and gestured for Zhao Ping to sit down. Okay, tell me what you have to say. I'll listen. Mother, I'm pregnant. What? Liang Jinchao opened her mouth in surprise. She looked at Zhao Ping with uncertainty. Mother, I said I'm pregnant. I went to see the doctor today. The doctor said I'm pregnant. Zhao Ping explained. Liang Jinchao was momentarily stunned. Ping, you're pregnant. Mother, aren't you happy that I'm pregnant? Why do you have such a reaction? Zhao Ping frowned and asked unhappily. Liang Jinchao smiled. How is mother not happy? Mother is just too happy, that's why she is like this. My family's Ping is pregnant so quickly. That's great. Chapter 1435. No matter what, Zhao Ping was her daughter. Which parent wouldn't want their child to do well? It was a good thing that Zhao Ping was now married and pregnant. With her in-laws happy, her daughter's life in her in-laws' house would naturally not be so difficult. Ping, since you're a mother, you have to change your temperament in the future. You have to act like a mother. Your in-laws' house is not as good as your maiden family, so they definitely won't take care of you as well. I can still serve you by your side, but you can't expect your mother-in-law to serve you too. Liang Jinchao said this as someone who had been through it before. Previously, when she was pregnant, old Zhao's family did not pay much attention to her. She had to do all the chores she had to do when she was pregnant. However, Zhao Ping did not take Liang Jinchao's words seriously. Zhao Ping curled her lips and said to Liang Jinchao, Mother, that can't be. I'm pregnant with the family Qin's only grandchild. How can my mother-in-law not serve me well? Liang Jinchao thought about it and felt that this was true. After all, Zhao Ping was different from her. The family Qin would definitely care about the only child in the family Qin's family. Just like when her eldest sister-in-law was pregnant with old Zhao's first grandchild, the old Zhao's family treated her quite well. The family Qin's people would naturally care more about the child in Zhao Ping's stomach. Liang Jinchao heaved a sigh of relief and said to Zhao Ping, that's good, that's good. Mother doesn't have to worry too much about you. Tell your father about it later. Your father will definitely be very happy to hear about it. Zhao Ping agreed happily. Then, she pulled Liang Jinchao's hand and said, Mother, your daughter is pregnant. Shouldn't we do something? Liang Jinchao was stunned. She looked at Xiao Ping in confusion and said, do something. Ping what do you mean? Mother, you see, I'm pregnant and I need to nourish my body. My in-laws don't have anything to nourish my body with. Can you get me some here? Liang Jinchao finally understood what was going on. If it was like before, she wouldn't have given it away so easily. Now that Xiao Ping was pregnant, she naturally couldn't be so calculative. Liang Jinchao smiled and said, okay. Mother will get you some eggs. You can eat them when you go back. They'll nourish your body. Xiao Ping was greedy and felt that Liang Jinchao had only given her a few eggs. Mother, give me another hen. I'll stew some soup when I get back. I'll eat the eggs slowly later. Liang Jinchao hesitated for a moment and finally nodded. Okay, Mother will get you a chicken. Hee, Mother, you are so good to me. Liang Jinchao shook his head helplessly. She was her daughter after all. She was willing to give her anything she wanted as long as she had it. Moreover, Xiao Ping was pregnant. Mother will go out and catch you a chicken now. Liang Jinchao said as she came out of the room of the third branch and walked in the direction of the chicken coop. Seeing that Liang Jinchao was catching a chicken, Feng Zhangxia said sarcastically, third sister-in-law, are you catching a chicken? Your Ping is back and you're so good to her. You're even killing a chicken to entertain her. Liang Jinchao smiled awkwardly and explained, Ping Er's eldest aunt, Ping is pregnant. I'm getting a chicken and eggs for her to nourish her body. So that's how it is. Then congratulations, third sister-in-law. Ping is actually pregnant. This is a happy occasion. Xiao Ping followed her out and raised her head in front of Feng Zhangxia. Eldest aunt, I don't need you to tell me that. Chapter 1436. Ping it's no big deal to give birth to a child when you're pregnant. Unless you give birth to a son, you'll have a high status in your in-laws' family. Otherwise, your in-laws won't be happy if you give birth to a daughter. Instead, they'll be angry. After all, no one wants to give birth to a good-for-nothing. It's just like how your mother gave birth to you. Not only did you marry into another family, but you even went back to your parents' home from time to time to get things from them. It's your mother who treats you well. If my daughter was like that, I'd definitely ignore her. Feng Zhangxia's sarcasm made Xiao Ping very angry. Eldest aunt, how do you know that I can't give birth to a son? I'll give birth to one later and anger you to death. Alright, then I'd like to see if you'll give birth to a son on your first child. Xiao Ping couldn't be bothered to argue with Feng Zhangxia. It was originally a happy thing, but after Feng Zhangxia's words, she felt even more annoyed. Just you wait, you jinx. Liang Jinchao helplessly twitched the corner of his mouth and said to Feng Zhangxia, eldest sister-in-law, don't talk about Ping anymore. Ping's first child doesn't matter if it's a boy or a girl. She can slowly give birth to a son in the future. She'll have a few more children sooner or later. However, Feng Zhangxia snorted softly. Isn't that so? Third sister-in-law, a son is better. If you give birth to a few more daughters, you'll have more mouths to feed. You'll be raised for free. Sigh, eldest sister-in-law, if you say so. Liang Jinchao didn't want to argue anymore. At this time, she grabbed a hen and picked the biggest one in the house. It was plump enough. She also went to the kitchen to get 20 eggs. When she was done, she handed them to Xiao Ping. Ping, mother has prepared them for you. Take them back. Xiao Ping happily took them. Mother, thank you. I'll be leaving now. After putting the things in the car, Xiao Ping couldn't wait to go back and tell the rest of the family Qin the good news. Liang Jinchao originally wanted Xiao Ping to stay for lunch, but thinking that Xiao Ping would have to tell the family Qin, he didn't ask her to stay. Okay, go back. But Ping, since you're pregnant, you have to be careful on the way back. Don't be in a hurry. Don't hurt the baby in your belly. Xiao Pinger nodded heavily. Mother, I know. Don't worry. She treasured her tummy a lot, so how could she let anything happen to it? To a day, moms, s's, cunt. Tut, too. Mother's a child s a child. To the family to a's to aa, family Qin hadn't been doing much work in the fields for the past few days. They used to work in the fields. They worked tirelessly every day and gave most of the food to the landlords. Now that they had other sources of income, they naturally didn't want to do such tiring work that didn't bring in much food. Their family's fields were the most important. Seeing that Xiao Ping had returned, Mu Chunfang went up to her and said, Ping, why did you come back so late today? Xiao Ping, smiled. Mother, I was delayed by something today. What's the matter? Did you go out to play and deliberately came back late? Mu Chunfang knew Xiao Ping's playful personality, so he didn't believe Xiao Ping's words. Chapter 1437. After being reminded by Xiao Ping, Mu Chunfang was a little curious and asked, Ping, lass, what's the matter? Tell me quickly. Since mother will be happy, tell me and let mother be happy. Xiao Ping grinned and went in front of Mu Chunfang. She said to Mu Chunfang, Mother, you're going to be a grandmother soon. I'm pregnant. What? Mu Chunfang was instantly stunned. The vegetables in her hand fell out of shock, and she could not react for a moment. Mother, I'm pregnant. I've been feeling unwell these few days. I kept wanting to vomit, so I went to the doctor to have a look. The doctor said that I have a pregnancy pulse. I'm pregnant. Really, Ping, You're really pregnant. In that case, our family Qin has a descendant. Ha ha ha, this is good news. Mu Chunfang was very excited. For so many years, what she looked forward to the most was having a grandchild. People around her age in the village had already had a grandchild. It was a pity that their family Qin was poor, and her two sons were unable to marry a wife. Now, Xiao Ping was pregnant. In that case, their family Qin really had a descendant. How could she not be happy? Mu Chunfang held Xiao Ping's hand excitedly and said, Ping, lass, good job. Your stomach is really capable. You've only been married for such a short time and you're already pregnant. Other people can't even lay eggs for a few years. Xiao Ping was praised by Mu Chunfang, and she lowered her head shyly. Mother, this isn't all my credit. It's all thanks to Big Brother Yuan. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gotten pregnant so easily. Xiao Ping was praising Mu Chunfang's son. Mu Chunfang was naturally happier. That's right. Yuan is also amazing. Speaking of which, this is all thanks to the two of you. Both of you deserve praise. That's right. Mother, I also brought back a hen and 20 eggs from my mother's house. My mother said that they are for me to nourish my body. Xiao Ping pointed at the chicken and eggs in the car. Mu Chunfang smiled and said, Mother will make some for you later. You're pregnant, so you have to eat better to nourish your body. Thank you, Mother. Little girl, what's there to thank me for? You're carrying our family Qin's precious grandson. Naturally, I have to take care of you and serve you well. After hearing Mu Chunfang's words, Xiao Ping couldn't help but smile. She knew it. Mu Chunfang would definitely treat her this way, unlike what Liang Jinxiao had said. Who asked her to be pregnant with the family Qin's only child? As Mu Chunfang spoke, he hurriedly called out to Qin Dashan and Qin Yuan, who were in the house. Yuan-er's father, Yuan-er, hurry up and come out. What's wrong? Qin Dashan poked his head out and asked. Yuan-er's father, good news. Ping-er is pregnant. You're going to be a grandfather in the future. After hearing Mu Chunfang's explanation, Qin Dashan was also overjoyed. Really, Ping-er's mother? What's wrong with that? Yuan-er's mother, that's really good news. Of course. Our family Qin has a descendant. Isn't that a good thing? That Ping girl has worked hard. She has contributed greatly to our family Qin. Isn't that so? Yuan-er is also in his 20s. It's time for him to be a father. He's about the same age as him. His children are already old enough. He's considered late. But fortunately, he's pregnant. Our family Qin is satisfied. That's right. Yuan has a child. He's really grown up. Chapter 1438. Zhao Ping originally wanted to hear Qin Yuan praise her, but when she saw Qin Yuan's expression, she could not help but frown. She muttered to Qin Yuan, "Brother Yuan, why do you look so unhappy?" Only then did Qin Dashan and Mu Chunfang notice Qin Yuan's reaction. Seeing that Qin Yuan's reaction was indeed a little strange, Mu Chunfang asked, "Yuan-er, you're going to be a father soon. Why aren't you smiling?" Qin Dashan muttered, "Yuan-er's mother, I think Yuan-er is so happy that he's silly. That's why he doesn't have any reaction." Mu Chunfang thought about it and felt that it was possible. Once a person was too happy, they would become silly. Hence, he teased Qin Yuan, "You child, you're so happy that you're muddle-headed. Hurry and wake up. Say something to your wife. It wasn't easy for her to get pregnant with your child." Qin Yuan frowned and asked, "Mother, how did you know that I'm going to be a father?" Mu Chunfang was baffled by Qin Yuan's words. "If you're not going to be a father, who else is going to be a father? Since Ping-er is pregnant, then you're going to be a father." Qin Yuan snorted. "Mother, you're wrong. Zhao Ping didn't sleep with me alone. Who knows if the child is mine or Big Brother's? Maybe Big Brother is going to be a father." Mu Chunfang and Qin Dashan were instantly stunned. Even Zhao Ping could not help but be stunned. "Brother Yuan, this child is definitely his." She slept with Qin Yuan first before sleeping with Qin Chuan. And the number of times she slept with Qin Yuan was far more than the number of times she slept with Qin Chuan. Mu Chunfang and Qin Dashan exchanged glances. They finally understood why Qin Yuan did not look very happy. So it was because of this. "Yuan-er. This child of yours, no matter if it's yours or your elder brother's, they're all part of our family Qin's bloodline. We should all be happy." Qin Yuan and Qin Chuan were both Mu Chunfang's sons, so no matter who Zhao Ping was pregnant with, Mu Chunfang was very happy. Qin Dashan continued Mu Chunfang's words, "That's right, Yuan-er. Whether it's yours or your elder brother's, our family Qin should be happy and celebrate." Qin Yuan snorted. "Dad, Mom, you can't say that. My child is my child, and Big Brother's child is Big Brother's child. Yuan-er, why can't you figure it out? So what if it's your elder brother's child? What are you unhappy about?" Qin Yuan asked back, "Mom, according to what you said, is Zhao Ping my wife or elder brother's wife?" This. Mu Chunfang did not know how to respond for a moment. Qin Dashan said, "Yuan-er, why are you so conflicted about this? We're from the countryside. Isn't it normal for a few brothers from a poor family to share a wife? Dad, I don't think so. People will definitely laugh at me later. Qin Dashan saw that he could not persuade Qin Yuan, so he did not say anything else. If Qin Yuan was unhappy, so be it. Anyway, it was fine as long as they were happy. Brother Yuan. Zhao Ping stood in front of Qin Yuan, feeling wronged. She was the one who felt the most upset when Qin Yuan said that. Zhao Ping did not want Qin Yuan to say that to her because of the child. Go away. Don't come near me. Qin Yuan entered the house in a fit of pique. Once he thought that his wife might be pregnant with someone else's child, Qin Yuan felt unhappy. Chapter 1439. Zhao Ping could only agree. She hoped that the truth was as Mu Chunfang said. Otherwise, she wouldn't know what to do. Alright, Ping, you should go and rest too. In the future, don't do too much chores at home. Your stomach is the most important. Mother will take care of the rest. Zhao Ping nodded. Got it, Mother. Zhao Ping felt stifled. She pulled out a stool and sat on it, thinking about how to make Qin Yuan happy. At this moment, Qin Chuan walked in front of Zhao Ping. Seeing that Zhao Ping was thinking about something, he moved his face closer to Zhao Ping. Zhao Ping was shocked when she saw Qin Chuan's face. She said angrily to Qin Chuan, "What are you trying to do?" Nothing. I just saw that you're like a fool. You're not even blinking. Zhao Ping was a little angry. She already had complaints about Qin Chuan. Now, Qin Chuan actually dared to provoke her. How could Zhao Ping let Qin Chuan off after being called a fool by a fool? She didn't have a reason to torture Qin Chuan. She didn't expect Qin Chuan to come knocking on her door. Zhao Ping jumped up from the stool and pushed Qin Chuan. You fool, who are you scolding? If you have the guts, you can scold me again. Qin Chuan was stunned. Zhao Ping continued to push Qin Chuan. This push caused Qin Chuan to fall to the ground. His buttocks were burning with pain. Sob, 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 Mother, the ugly monster bullied me. Hearing Qin Chuan's cries, Mu Chunfang immediately rushed out of the kitchen. What's wrong, Chuan? Mother, the ugly monster hit me. You have to avenge me. Mu Chunfang felt a headache coming on. Zhao Ping also felt justified. She complained in front of Mu Chunfang, Mother, he was the one who scared me first. I'm pregnant with family Qin's child. I can't take the scare. What if the baby is scared to death? Mu Chunfang felt that what Zhao Ping said made sense, so he quickly reminded Qin Chuan, Chuan, you have to be careful. Don't hurt Ping. Ping is pregnant now. Seeing that Mu Chunfang was defending Zhao Ping instead of him, Qin Chuan became even angrier. He sat on the ground and began to act shamelessly. Mother, how can you be so nice to that ugly freak? You don't even care about me anymore. Alright, Chuan, don't make a fuss in front of Mother. You've made me confused. Mother, alright. Ping is different from before. You have to be more sensible. Don't hurt her. Qin Chuan pursed his lips, feeling a little unhappy. Mu Chunfang whispered into Qin Chuan's ear, Child, do you know that Ping might be pregnant with your son? Qin Chuan didn't understand what Mu Chunfang meant. So what? I just hate that ugly freak. I still want to bully her tonight. What? Qin Chuan tugged at Mu Chunfang's hand and said, Mother, can I bully her like before tonight? It had been a while since he did that, and Qin Chuan found himself missing it. although he didn't know why. Because he was silly, Qin Chuan wasn't afraid to say it out loud. Mu Chuanfang's expression changed slightly. Ah, Chuan you can't. Qin Chuan looked at Mu Chunfang in confusion. Mother, why can't I? Chapter 1440. When a woman was pregnant, especially in the first and second trimesters, she could not move or do that kind of thing. Therefore, even if Qin Chuan wanted to do that with Xiao Ping, he was not allowed to do so. Seeing the sharpness in Mu Chuanfang's tone, Qin Chuan knew that Mu Chunfang was serious. He pursed his lips in displeasure and did not continue arguing. Humph, mother, you only know how to protect that ugly monster. As he spoke, Qin Chuan got up from the ground angrily and ran away. Mu Chunfang shook his head helplessly. At the same time, he turned around and instructed Xiao Ping, after you're pregnant, remember not to do that with Yuan, at night. Otherwise, the child will be easily miscarried. After reminding Xiao Ping, Mu Chunfang went back to the kitchen to make lunch. Xiao Ping, was stunned. Can't do that again. In other words, she couldn't let Qin Yuan do anything to her. She was pregnant for 10 months. How could she endure it for 10 months? It was simply torturous. At the thought of this, Xiao Ping, touched her stomach. Suddenly, she didn't want to get pregnant so soon. After Xiao Yun had dinner, Xiao Wenhua came to look for her. Now that the house was almost completed, there were some things that could be bought now. Xiao Wenhua came over this time to discuss the purchase of furniture. Now that the house was built, people could move in. It was unlike the 21st century, where the house had to be left to dry for a few months or even half a year after renovation. In ancient times, there was no need to renovate. There were no cancer-causing materials, so there was no need to worry. After buying the furniture, such as the bed, table, and so on, people could move in. After hearing Xiao Wenhua's instructions, Xiao Yun nodded in agreement. Now that Xiao Wenhua was busy building the house, she naturally had to buy the furniture herself. Fortunately, there were many such shops in Yang City. As long as one was a carpenter, they would basically know how to make furniture. She would just have to ask around later. Zhao Yuner felt much better at the thought of being able to live in a new house soon. After moving into the new house, Zhao Tianan's marriage could also be arranged. Mu Lan's house was small. Zhu Eru found 2 masons, so the construction of the house was about the same as Zhao Yun's house. It was almost finished. Since they both needed to buy furniture, it was better to go with Mulan. The price would be easier to negotiate. Sister-in-law Mulan, you have to buy some beds, cabinets, chairs, and tables. Let's go to Yang City tomorrow and book them. These things have to be customized in advance. You might not be able to buy them now. Mulan happened to be thinking about this matter these 2 days. Hearing Zhao Yuner mention it again, she nodded and agreed, okay. Let's go there tomorrow morning. Oh right, bring Mu Hin along too. Mulan looked at Zhao Yuner in confusion and asked, why are you bringing her along? That child doesn't know anything. Zhao Yuner smiled and explained, I'm not asking her to accompany us. I want to bring her to Yang City to buy some jewelry. Mulan was even more confused. Yuner, why are you buying jewelry for her? Seeing Mulan's confused expression, Zhao Yuner said, Sister-in-law Mulan, when the house is built, we can propose marriage. We have to give a betrothal gift to propose marriage, right? The jewelry we give Mu Hin has to like it. I can't just pick it casually, in case it doesn't suit her. Chapter 1441. In ancient times, when people got married, the groom would send betrothal gifts. However, only wealthy families would send some gold, silver, and jewelry. Just like when Zhao Xinhui got married, young Master Meng sent a pile of jewelry. Poorer families usually didn't send jewelry. It was already very impressive if they could send a silver hairpin or a silver bracelet. After all, they were just country bumpkins. Therefore, Mulan felt that it was impossible to expect Zhao Yun or his family to give a lot of betrothal gifts or buy many things for Mu Hin. Therefore, she rejected Zhao Yun and said, Yun, there's no need. Your family isn't very rich now. We're all living together and living a normal life. We're from the countryside, so there's no need to be so courteous. Besides, with our relationship, there's no need to be so courteous. It's Mu Hin's good fortune to be able to marry into your family. She definitely won't ask for too many things from your family. Zhao Yun knew that Mulan was being courteous to her, so she said, Sister-in-law Mulan, this is our family sincerity. Just accept it. We're buying these things for Mu Hin, not for you. Mulan glared at Zhao Yun. Yun, seriously. Even if you have some money, shouldn't you keep it properly? Why do you have to spend it? It's not easy for anyone to earn money these days. So, you should save your money properly. Don't spend it. Sister-in-law Mulan, when did you become so pretentious? If you continue to be so courteous with me, I won't talk to you anymore. Money can be earned slowly after it's spent. Business will only get bigger and bigger. What's the use of keeping money? Mu Hin is such a good girl who married into our family. We should express our gratitude properly. Mulan felt helpless. She realized that she couldn't win against Zhao Yun at all. Therefore, she could only say, okay. Yun then bring Mu Hin to town tomorrow to buy things. Is that okay? Zhao Yun who was originally stern, finally smiled. That's right. By the way, Yun do you know something? Seeing Mulan acting so mysteriously, Zhao Yun couldn't help saying, Sister-in-law Mulan, if you have something to say, just say it directly. What's the big deal? Did something happen in the village? Mulan thought. She thought. Zhao Yun said, Yun, do you know that Xiao Hong and Lu Lei will be married to Lu Lei? Lu Lei will be married into the Xiao family's family. Hearing this, Zhao Yun was stunned. Lu Yun Mu Yun's it didn't look like there was a mistake. However, Zhao Yun felt that Lu Lei wouldn't marry Xiao Hong so easily. Was it because he felt that he was getting old and needed to get married, so he just casually picked a girl? Or did he really like Xiao Hong and want to be with her? In any case, it shouldn't be that simple. Mulan thought that Zhao Yun was unhappy. After all, Zhao Yun and Lu Lei got along quite well in the past, so they more or less had some feelings for each other. Now that she heard that Lu Lei and Xiao Hong were getting married, she had such a reaction. Mulan comforted her, Yun, you got along well with Lu Lei back then. He treated you well. But Master Shitzi is even better. You didn't get together with Lu Lei, but you met such a good man like Master Shitzi. Master Shitzi is also Daodu's father. It's good that your family is together. Chapter 1442. Zhao Yun chuckled. She guessed that Mulan was right. Sister-in-law Mulan, you're right. It's a good thing that he's getting married. After all, it's not good to be alone. If he's with Xiao Hong can at least take care of him. Yes, that's the case. Xiao Hong wasn't the best person, but Zhao Yun knew that Xiao Hong would definitely treat Lu Lei well. Because she loved Lu Lei, she would take good care of him. Of course, the most important thing was that once Lu Lei got married, he would stop thinking about her and wouldn't miss her anymore. Thinking about that, Xiao Yun only wished him well. Sister-in-law Mulan, since they're getting married, we have to send them some money. Call me when you're sending the money. I'll go too. Mulan smiled and said, okay, Yun. I got it. Don't worry, I'll call you. Okay. The next morning, the few of them rushed to Sun City. Sun City was as lively as ever. Xiao Yun and Mulan looked for a few carpentry shops together. After shopping around, they finally chose an old carpentry shop. The carpenters in this shop were older and had decades of experience, so their skills were pretty good. It was just that this shop was a little out of the way and also a little run down. There weren't many people here. In addition, the carpenters were old, so their speed was a little slow. The customers saw that their efficiency wasn't high. There were many carpenters in Sun City, so naturally, there weren't many customers here. Xiao Yun saw that it would take some time for her house to be finished. The carpenters would be able to finish it in a few days, so Xiao Yun decided on it. She liked doing business with honest people. Xiao Yun could tell that this old carpenter was pretty good. That was why she chose him. Mulan also made a reservation at this shop. When the old carpenter saw that they had ordered so many goods at once, he gave them a discount again. After all the preparations were done, Xiao Yun brought Mu Hin to a jewelry shop. This jewelry store was neither big nor small. Most large jewelry stores catered to the rich. Most of them sold expensive jewelry. With Xiao Yun's wealth, she probably couldn't afford it. Middle-class shops would sell jewelry aimed at ordinary people. Wealthy families in the countryside and towns often came here to buy jewelry. The jewelry was placed on the table for the guests to choose from. There were all kinds of hairpins, bracelets, necklaces, and head ornaments. These ancient jewelry were all handmade, but the level of exquisiteness was no less than the jewelry of the 21st century. On the contrary, it had more charm than the jewelry made by machines in the 21st century. After Xiao Yun saw it, she couldn't help but want to buy a few. Mu Hin looked around. After seeing such exquisite jewelry, he was a little embarrassed to choose. Mu Hin, what's wrong? Why aren't you choosing? Do you not like any of these accessories? If you don't like them, why don't we go to another shop to choose? Mu Hin shook his head. No, Sister Yun, it's not that I don't like them. I just feel that these things are too expensive. I can't accept them. Mulan felt that any random item would cost a few taels of silver. In the countryside, who would be willing to spend so much money? Xiao Yun couldn't help but laugh. This child, since I'm letting you choose, I'm sincerely buying it for you. You're saving money for me. Don't worry, it's fine. Just choose. You don't have to worry about this little bit of money. Although Xiao Yun said this, Mu Hin felt apologetic. Chapter 1443. She felt that it was a great blessing for her to be able to marry Zhao Tianan. Xiao Yun was so good to her that she was afraid that she would be taking advantage of her. Sister Yun, I know that you are good to me, but these accessories are really too expensive. I will be living with Tianan in the future. If I spend money on these things, people in the countryside will definitely gossip. Actually, these worldly possessions are really nothing. I am happy as long as Tianan is around. Looking at such an honest girl, Xiao Yun could not help but laugh. Mu Hin, it is Tianan's blessing to have married such a good wife like you. However, these accessories are not from Tianan. As his elder sister, they are completely from my heart. Why, do you have the heart to not let me be happy? Sister Yun, Xiao Yun, tugged at Mu Hin's hand and said to Mu Hin, all right, Mu Hin, don't hesitate anymore. Just accept it. It is not good to be so hesitant. Mu Hin could not refuse and could only nod. All right then, Sister Yun, I won't stand on ceremony with you. I will accept it. Okay. Seeing that Mu Hin did not refuse, Xiao Yun's smile deepened. Mu Hin looked at the accessories and skipped over the ones that looked expensive. She only considered those that looked more plain and did not seem to cost much. She chose the best ones and chose a plain silver hairpin, a silver bracelet, and a pearl necklace. Although it was considered cheap in comparison, these pieces of jewelry were indeed good things for the people in the countryside. If she wore them, she would be envied to death. If a woman in the countryside had a silver bracelet, it would be enough to show off. Sister Yun, these are enough. Mu Hin said to Xiao Yun. Xiao Yun looked at the few items that Mu Hin had chosen and knew that Mu Hin had chosen cheap items on purpose to save money for her. She could not help but feel a little touched. This child was indeed too honest. If this was an ordinary girl, she would be eager to buy the best and most expensive items. However, it was precisely because of this that Xiao Yun liked Mu Hin more. At least this girl was kind and pure. She was the most suitable person to live with. Her younger brother was also very pure and honest. If he were to be with a girl like Ma Xiaofeng, he would inevitably be bullied. In the future, Mu Hin would be able to live down-to-earth with Zhao Tianan. Are you still trying to save money? These items won't do. Xiao Yun did not let Mu Hin choose by herself. She would definitely choose cheap items. Therefore, she chose a pair of gold earrings and a glass hairpin. The design was very unique and beautiful, especially the glass hairpin, which shone beautifully. Xiao Yun fell in love with it at first sight. Sister Yun, how much did this cost? Isn't it too expensive? Mu Hin was a little embarrassed to accept it. It's okay. Let's go and pay the bill. Xiao Yun held Mu Hin's hand and said. Mu Hin blushed slightly. She was very touched. Ever since she left the Mu family, her life had been much better. Whether it was Mulan or Xiao Yun, they were very good to her. If she were in the Mu family, she would not have such a good life. Only when she came here did she understand what it meant to be cared for. To be able to be relatives with someone like Xiao Yun, in the future, it was really a blessing that she had cultivated in her previous life. Chapter 1444. She was also very touched and gratified that her younger sister could be treated like this by Xiao Yun. The few of them came to the counter and calculated the bill. These things added up to 8 taels of silver. In the countryside, that was 2 acres of farmland. If it was an ordinary family, how could they bear to part with it? The boss wrapped it up for Xiao Yun with a smile. In his shop, buying 8 taels of silver in one go was still a small amount. He was more polite to Xiao Yun. Miss, take care, the boss said with a smile. Okay. The 3 of them were just about to leave when they saw 2 people walking towards them. These 2 people were not just anyone, but Xiao Hong and Lu Lei. Xiao Yun realized that some things were quite strange. When a person was not mentioned or thought of, there was basically no interaction. Usually, she would not bump into them in the village. Yesterday, Mulan had just mentioned Lu Lei and Xiao Hong, and today, she saw Lu Lei and Xiao Hong. When Xiao Hong saw that she had bumped into Xiao Yun, she was also slightly stunned. Then, she said, Sister Yun is also here to buy jewelry. The smile on Xiao Hong's face was so fake. Xiao Yun could not be bothered with her. However, she had no reason to ignore her when she was talking to her. Moreover, Lu Lei was beside her. If she really ignored her, it would probably be exactly what Xiao Hong wanted. This way, Xiao Hong could complain about her in front of Lu Lei. Yes, Sister Xiao Hong, are you here to buy jewelry as well? Xiao Yun also pulled out a fake smile. Yes, I'm getting married to Brother Lu in a while, so my mother asked me to come over and buy some dowry. Xiao Hong purposely emphasized her marriage to Lu Lei, as if she was afraid that Xiao Yun did not know. Xiao Yun's lips curled up slightly as she said with a lonely smile, then I really have to congratulate you. Sister Yun, thank you for your blessings. It's not easy for Brother Lu and I to be together. Xiao Hong's smile seemed to hide a knife. If it wasn't for Xiao Yun, she would have been together with Lu Lei long ago. However, it wasn't too late to be with Lu Lei now. It was better than not being with Lu Lei. It's Big Brother Lu's fortune to be able to marry a woman like little sister Xiao Hong. It's my fortune to be able to marry Big Brother Lu. I'll definitely take good care of Big Brother Lu in the future. Xiao Hong looked at Lu Lei affectionately. However, Lu Lei, who treated her quite well, became a little different the moment he saw Xiao Yun. When Xiao Hong saw Lu Lei looking at Xiao Yun, she felt a little jealous. In the end, Lu Lei still couldn't let go of Xiao Yun. Xiao Hong knew very well that if she hadn't used a special method, Lu Lei probably wouldn't have agreed to marry her. This method was a little extreme, but Lu Lei had no way to avoid responsibility. Because she drugged Lu Lei, she had sex with him. She was a virgin, and now that a man had slept with her, the man had to take responsibility. Lu Lei wasn't the kind of man who would throw her away and take the initiative to marry her. She put in a lot of effort to plan this and finally managed to keep the man she loved by her side. Xiao Hong believed that as long as Lu Lei married her and spent time with her every day, he would more or less develop feelings for her and forget about Xiao Yun. After all, it was normal for feelings to grow over time. What was done couldn't be undone. Lu Lei no longer had that thought in his heart, and he would also slowly forget about Xiao Yun. Chapter 1445. Xiao Hong wanted to see Xiao Yun be angry or envious, but Xiao Yun was completely unmoved, as if she didn't care at all. She felt a little unhappy. Yes, no matter how lucky I am, I can't compare to Sister Yun. Sister Yun is going to marry the current heir apparent. How noble is her status. Xiao Hong said this on purpose to make Lu Lei misunderstand. The reason why Xiao Yun didn't have much of a reaction was that Xiao Yun already had Mu Lianfeng, so she naturally didn't care much about Lu Lei. Lu Lei's expression darkened when he heard Xiao Hong's words. Xiao Yun was really speechless towards Xiao Hong. She wouldn't fight with her for Lu Lei, so why did Xiao Hong keep harping on her? It was as if she couldn't wait to see her upset. Lu Lei tugged at Xiao Hong, indicating for her to stop talking. Xiao Hong pursed her lips and snorted softly, but she didn't say anything else. Xiao Yun still had a smile on her face as she bid farewell to Xiao Hong and Lu Lei. Little sister Xiao Hong, go and choose your jewelry. I've already chosen, so I won't accompany you. With that, Xiao Yun tugged at Mu Hin and Mulan. Looking at Xiao Yun's departing figure, Xiao Hong was furious. This B*TCH was doing this on purpose. Luckily, she had gotten Lu Lei. After Xiao Yun, Mulan, and Mu Hin walked out of the shop, Mulan couldn't help but say, that Xiao Hong is too inhumane. What did she mean by those words? Xiao Yun curled her lips and said with a smile, who cares what she means? Just ignore her. Look at how proud she is. Yun'er, if you were willing to accept Lu Lei, she wouldn't have a chance to jump around. Forget it, sister-in-law Mulan, you don't have to say anything. It's their business what they want to say. We can't control them. Xiao Yun was open-minded and didn't care. Mulan couldn't stand Xiao Hong's attitude. Seeing that Xiao Yun'er didn't care, she naturally couldn't say anything more. On the other hand, Xiao Hong treated someone whom Zhao Yun didn't care about like a treasure. Xiao Hong felt embarrassed. Yes, it's none of our business. Let her say what she wants. Mulan responded. After finishing their work, they prepared to go to the market to buy some groceries. Just as he arrived at the market and bought a few ingredients, he suddenly saw a bunch of people gathered together in the market. He had no idea what was going on. Zhao Yuner also curiously looked in the direction of the crowd. What happened? It seems like a pregnant woman suddenly had a stomachache. Really? There's no midwife now. Isn't that so? There's no midwife. This is troublesome. She can't be giving birth on the streets, right? Who knows? The situation looks serious. Yeah, the situation looks serious. If we don't deal with it properly, she might not be able to keep her life. It won't be good if 2 lives are lost. There's no choice. It's a sin. Hearing these people's words, Zhao Yuna raised her eyebrows slightly. Something so serious had happened? As a police officer, Zhao Yuna couldn't help but want to meddle in other people's business. After all, it was a matter of life and death. She couldn't just ignore it. Last time, there was also a pregnant woman who had a problem. She reached out to help and the woman survived. As long as she could help, there was no harm in helping. Just as Zhao Yuner was about to make a move, she suddenly heard a familiar voice. Chapter 1446. Oh, my precious daughter, please don't let anything happen to you. Zhaodi, please don't scare me. Wake up. Zhaodi woo, Zhaodi, someone come and save our Zhaodi. Zhao Yun frowned when she heard Liang Jinfan's screams. So the woman with a stomachache was actually his cousin, Su Zhaodi. Although she didn't like her second aunt's family, Zhao Yun couldn't help but move closer to see what was going on. Could it really be as serious as the onlookers said? If that was the case, would her cousin be able to take it? The ancient times weren't like the modern times. If anything happened to her, it wouldn't be good. However, Zhao Yun had to observe first. If she didn't need to do anything, she wouldn't do anything. After all, she had offended her and said those words to her. She couldn't possibly be too concerned about her. Oh, this is bad. Look, that woman's bleeding down there. Yeah, oh my God, is she going to have a miscarriage? I think she's really going to have a miscarriage. She's bleeding, how can she keep the child? What should we do? What a sin. Hearing these people say that Jianhong was going to have a miscarriage, Liang Jinfen was so frightened that he started crying. Oh, my Zhaodi, you can't have a miscarriage. You're pregnant with my precious grandson. At the same time, Liang Jinfen thought that if Su Zhaodi was pregnant with a son, her status in the Huang family would be different. No matter what, Su Zhaodi's child couldn't be lost. Everyone, help me, help me. My Zhaodi's child has to be saved. Nothing can happen to it. Can anyone help me find a doctor or a midwife? Woo, Zhao Yun couldn't help but shake her head when she heard Liang Jinfen's cries. Her second aunt was usually so arrogant, but it turned out that there were times when she was so anxious. However, no one stepped forward to help. Sister-in-law, it's not that we don't want to help you, but we can't. Your daughter is bleeding down there. It's obvious that the child can't be saved. Even if the doctor comes, it's probably useless. That's right. Even if the doctor comes, it won't help. A woman's body cannot be seen by a man, not even by a doctor. Sister-in-law, if you want to take a look, you should ask the midwife. It's impossible to find a midwife in such a short time. It's better to wait slowly. Sigh, there's nothing we can do. Sister-in-law, don't cry. Hurry up and go home to call for help. Get someone to bring your daughter back. It's not good for her to lie on the ground. Liang Jinfan's cries became louder after hearing what everyone said. Where was she going to find a midwife? She couldn't get away now, nor could she call someone over. If this dragged on, she reckoned that her little brother wouldn't be able to hold on. Liang Jinfan was so anxious that he wanted to cry. Recruit brother, recruit brother. Bear with it for a while longer. Mother will help you think of a way. Liang Jinfan said with a sobbing tone. Su Xiaodi, who was on the ground, turned pale. She shouted weakly and fearfully at Liang Jinfan, Mother, mother, what should I do? I'm so scared. She was afraid that she would lose the child. Everyone said that the child in her stomach was a boy. Chapter 1447. Liang Jinfan tugged at Su Xiaodi and said, Don't be afraid. I'm here. I won't let anything happen to you. Liang Jinfan's comforting words had no effect on Su Xiaodi. Mom. I'm in pain. You have to save my child. Su Xiaodi clutched her stomach and looked at the blood flowing out between her legs. She was terrified. Besides the pain, she was even more terrified. This was her first child. She had heard that after a first miscarriage, it was easy for her to have another miscarriage. It might not be so easy for her to have children in the future. If she couldn't have children, how was she going to live in her in-laws' house in the future? When Zhao Yun heard these people's discussion, she couldn't help but frown. She had a miscarriage. The situation was really serious. And these people were obviously talking nonsense if they didn't call for a doctor. A miscarriage could easily cost her her life. Of course, these people were here to watch the show. Naturally, they would make sarcastic remarks. After squeezing through the crowd, Zhao Yun saw Su Xiaodi on the ground. She couldn't bear to see her and felt sympathy for her. The people around them were just watching the show. Not many people came forward to help. If this continued, who knew what would happen? Zhao Yun went forward and asked, Second aunt, how is cousin? Liang Jinfan felt comforted when she saw Zhao Yun. She hurriedly said to Zhao Yun, Yun, you're here. There's finally someone here. I was so scared. Yun, can you help me call someone from Zhaodi's in-laws' house? If she called the Huang family over, they would at least be more tolerant. Zhao Yun frowned and didn't agree to Liang Jinfan's request. In this situation, it was obvious that there was no point in calling the Huang family over. So what if the Huang family came? They weren't doctors and didn't know how to deliver a child. Looking at Su Xiaodi's stomach, Zhao Yun didn't think that it was a miscarriage. After all, Su Xiaodi's stomach was already 7 to 9 months old. Although it was not the right time to give birth, it was normal to have a child in such an unexpected situation. If this matter was handled properly, not only would the adults be safe, but the children would also be safe. Of course, this had to be dealt with rationally. Lying here and doing nothing was completely useless. Second aunt, it's better to send her to the clinic and find a doctor. Cousin is premature, Zhao Yun said. Actually, she didn't want to bother with or help her second aunt. After all, it was a human life. She could even help an outsider. Putting aside her personal grudges, there was no need to be calculative. What? Send him to the clinic. No. Yuner, the doctor doesn't know how to treat this. My Xiaodi won't be able to treat it. Zhao Yun was speechless. If anything happened to Su Xiaodi, it would be Liang Jinfan's fault. It was scary to be uncultured. Zhao Yun didn't know what to say to Liang Jinfan. Second aunt, the doctor can't do it, and no one can. can you find a midwife? This, Liang Jinfin choked and didn't know what to say. Don't waste time talking nonsense. When the time comes, it will be too late to regret it. As Xiao Yun spoke, she called for Mulan and Mu Hin to help Su Xiaodi and send her to the clinic. Liang Jinfin was also confused at this moment. Since Xiao Yun said so, she could only do so. It was better than being anxious like a headless fly. Chapter 1448. There were many people in the clinic. Su Xiaodi was a special case, so the doctors treated her seriously and allowed her to skip the queue. Hurry up and go inside. Go inside. What's going on? The doctors frowned when they saw the situation. Liang Jinfin knelt down in front of the doctor and pleaded, "Doctor, I beg you to save my daughter. Please don't let anything happen to her." The doctor tugged at Liang Jinfin. "All right, get up. Don't kneel. Kneeling won't help much. I'll go take a look. Don't delay my work." Liang Jinfin could only nod and wait anxiously outside. He kept rubbing his hands, afraid that something would happen to Su Xiaodi. Apart from his genuine concern for his daughter, Liang Jinfin was also worried that if something happened to Su Xiaodi, he would not be able to lead a good life in the future. After all, he could only rely on his daughter now. How could he rely on Su Xiaodi when he was old? She did not have a son. Fortunately, her daughter had married into a wealthy family. If her daughter was gone, who would she rely on in the future? Xiao Yun also left the clinic and handed Su Xiaodi over to the doctor. She was not a doctor after all. There was nothing she could do. She had already done her duty by sending Su Xiaodi here. Seeing that Xiao Yun and Mulan had left, Liang Jinfin tugged at Xiao Yun and nagged, "Hey, Yun, is my Xiaodi okay? Will there be any problems?" Xiao Yun did not know how to answer Liang Jinfin. She pursed her lips and replied, "Second aunt, I don't know if there will be any problems. Just wait." The doctor said that there will be no problems. Liang Jinfin was a little unhappy. He frowned and said, "Yun, how can you say that? You sent my Xiaodi here, so you have to take responsibility. You don't even know if the doctor is good or not. If you want to make sure that my Xiaodi is fine, then why did you send him here?" Hearing Liang Jinfin's words, Xiao Yun also got angry. What kind of person was this? She had helped him out of kindness, but he had stuck to her. She reckoned that it was rare to see a scoundrel like Liang Jinfin. "Second aunt, you're really interesting. Now you're blaming me. Fine, let's send him back. However, I'll say the ugly words first. If anything happens to my cousin, don't look for me. Don't regret it," Xiao Yun said coldly. Liang Jinfin was intimidated by Xiao Yun's imposing manner. She knew very well that if she continued to lie on the ground, she would only be waiting for death. Here, at least she had a chance. It was better to wait and see if Su Xiaodi was all right. If something really happened, she could just look for Xiao Yun. The two of them waited outside. From time to time, the woman's painful cries could be heard from inside. It was Su Xiaodi's cries. Liang Jinfin anxiously poked his head in, but he was stopped from entering. There was nothing he could do. Liang Jinfin couldn't sit still and walked around the room. As she walked, she clasped her hands together and muttered, "God bless us, God bless us. Please don't let anything happen to my Xiaodi. Xiaodi, you have to hold on. Mother can't be without you. Xiaodi, Xiaodi." Sigh, mother is so anxious. Xiao Yun was annoyed by Liang Jinfin's nagging. When would this second aunt of hers stop? Chapter 1449. Xiao Yun lifted her head and glanced at Liang Jinfin. Although she could understand Liang Jinfin's anxiety, Liang Jinfin didn't have to be like this. Second aunt, the doctors are all here. If something really happened, there's nothing we can do about it. Liang Jinfin's expression changed when he heard Xiao Yun's words. He scolded Xiao Yun, why are you so heartless? Xiaodi is your cousin. How can you be like this? Xiao Yun was also unhappy with Liang Jinfin's words. Second aunt, I'm heartless. If I was heartless, I wouldn't have sent my cousin to the clinic. I wouldn't have bothered with you. I wouldn't have had to go through all this trouble. It's a thankless task. But it's not good if something happened to my Xiaodi. Can't you talk to me and make me feel better? Xiao Yun didn't know what to say to Liang Jinfin. Seeing that Xiao Yun was ignoring him, Liang Jinfin continued to wander around the room. He kept mumbling to himself, but no one knew what he was saying. Xiao Yun also heard the miserable screams in the room. She couldn't help but frown. She was a little worried that something had happened to her cousin. After all, if there was blood, it meant that it was serious. It was uncertain whether the doctors could treat it well. After all, the medical technology in the ancient times was not as good as the modern ones. It was normal for a woman to die during childbirth in the 21st century. Whether or not Su Xiaodi was alright would depend on her own luck. If she made it through, she would be fine. If she didn't, she might even lose her life. Xiao Yun didn't know how long it would take for her to recover. She still had to go back. Just as Xiao Yun was getting impatient, a baby's voice came from the room. Wah wah wah, wow, wow, wow. Liang Jinfin immediately became excited. He pulled Xiao Yun and said, Yun did you hear the child's voice? Did my family recruit a younger brother? Did I hear wrongly? Are you hallucinating? Xiao Yun nodded. Second aunt, you didn't hear wrong. It is indeed the sound of a child crying. It should be cousin Xiaodi who gave birth. Since the child had been born, it meant that she was fine. Sure enough, after a while, the doctor came out with a child in his arms. He handed the child to Liang Jinfin and said, Don't worry, your daughter is safe, and so is the child. However, your daughter has lost a lot of blood this time, so her body needs to be properly nursed back to health. Otherwise, if the blood in her body can't be replenished in the future, her physique will become very weak. Also, this child's constitution is very poor. After all, he was born prematurely. We have to take care of him properly. Yes, I know. Thank you, doctor. Liang Jinfin looked at the doctor gratefully. Her daughter could be saved, and so could the child. It seemed that the heavens had heard her prayers. You're welcome. This is what a doctor should do. Fortunately, they were sent here in time. If they were a little later, the mother and child's lives would have been lost. The doctor said. Liang Jinfin looked at Xiao Yun. He thought about how his recruit was saved, and it was all thanks to Xiao Yun. Otherwise, something would have happened. Chapter 1450. The baby was crying so loudly that Liang Jinfin took notice of the child in her arms. She looked down at the newborn baby. It was a little wrinkled, but she could still tell that the baby had taken after its father. It was a little ugly. Liang Jinfin glanced at him and sighed slightly. It was a pity that this child didn't inherit her family's younger brother's mold when he grew up like this. Suddenly, Liang Jinfin seemed to have thought of something important. She held the doctor's hand and asked with concern, Doctor, did my brother give birth to a boy or a girl? The doctor replied faintly, Isn't the child in your hands? Why don't you take a look for yourself? Yes. I'll take a look for myself. Look at my brain, it's really not enough. I get confused when I'm anxious. Liang Jinfen muttered as she tugged at the clothes wrapped around the baby. Liang Jinfen was stunned when she saw that the person wrapped in the clothes was a boy who had the characteristics of a girl. How could it be a girl? When Xiaodi was pregnant, her belly was so big and obviously had the characteristics of a boy. How could it be a girl? She was so anxious to keep the baby because she felt that Su Xiaodi was most likely pregnant with a boy. If she could really give birth to a boy, he would be the Huang family's only golden grandson. Her status in the Huang family would also be elevated. Now, she had given birth to a girl. She didn't know how the Huang family would react when they found out. The more she thought about it, the more anxious Liang Jinfen became. Her brows were tightly knitted together and she was extremely worried. She looked at the baby in her arms and didn't want to hug it anymore. She had given birth to a good-for-nothing. She might as well not have given birth at all. Wah, wah, wah. The baby continued to cry. Liang Jinfen was so angry that she scolded the baby. Cry, 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 what are you crying for? You good-for-nothing. Why is Xiaodi so unlucky? Not only is she not a boy, she almost lost her life when she gave birth to you. In Liang Jinfen's eyes, this newborn baby was a jinx. Because of Liang Jinfen's roar, the child was frightened. The baby's cries became even louder, making people's hearts ache. Of course, in the eyes of outsiders, this would make their hearts ache. Liang Jinfen didn't think so. After hearing the cries, Liang Jinfen felt annoyed and slapped the baby a few times. Cry, 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 you little jinx, you still have the face to cry. If you cry again, I'll ask your mother to throw you away. Let's see if you still dare. Wah wah wah. Liang Jinfen's warning had no effect on the child. The more Liang Jinfen watched, the angrier she got. Just as she was about to explode, Xiao Yuner could not stand it anymore. She said to Liang Jinfen, "Second aunt, it's just a child. You don't have to be like this, right? How can a child withstand the torture? If you continue to hit her like this, the child will probably be beaten to death." Xiao Yuner spoke up for Liang Jinfen. She couldn't stand Liang Jinfen's attitude at all. She naturally knew why Liang Jinfen was like this. It was because this child was a girl. In Liang Jinfen's opinion, if a girl was born unloved by her in-laws, her previous plan would fall through. Chapter 1451. However, Liang Jinfen felt that Xiao Yun should not interfere in this matter. This is my granddaughter. My younger brother gave birth to her. What does it have to do with you? You can hit and scold me if you want. Who can control me? Humph. The corners of Xiao Yun's mouth twitched. Her heart ached for the child in Liang Jinfen's womb for a second. It was too pitiful for the child to be born into such a family. Of course, this was just the beginning. She did not know how the child would be treated in the future. After all, this was a life that she had saved. Xiao Yun still hoped that this child would be safe and that she would not have to experience any setbacks. Of course, it would be difficult for this child to be happy. Second aunt, it's fine if you want to scold and hit her. However, I have to remind you that a newborn child will not be able to withstand the torment. If you accidentally kill her, you will have killed a human life. Murder is a serious crime. Even if you kill a child, the authorities will pursue the matter. Liang Jinfen's expression darkened. She looked up at Xiao Yun. She was frightened by Xiao Yun's words. However, she continued to be stubborn. Yun, who are you trying to scare? Humph. Don't think that you can scare me. It's just a child's death these days. Why would the authorities care about such matters? Xiao Yun chuckled. If you don't want to care, then so be it. However, second aunt, you can't go overboard. Heaven is watching what you do. After all, this is a fresh life. Moreover, she is my biological daughter. She is your biological granddaughter. Liang Jinfen looked at the child in her arms again. After thinking about it, her heart softened. Xiao Yun was right. This was her biological granddaughter. She could not kill this child. When Mulan saw the child crying pitifully, she couldn't help but go forward and say to Liang Jinfen, I think this child is crying because she's hungry. You have to feed her some milk. Scolding her like this is useless. What can a newborn baby know? After all, she had children too. Moreover, she had a daughter for her first 2 children. It was true that the elders did not like their daughters, but a piece of flesh that fell from their own body would be treasured no matter what. Looking at the baby, Mulan's maternal instincts overflowed. Naturally, she felt even more pity for the child in Liang Jinfen's arms. Hungry. Liang Jinfen glanced at the baby and frowned. After thinking about it, she decided to follow Mulan's instructions and feed the baby some milk. The baby was born prematurely, and Su Xiaodi was bleeding profusely. She didn't know if there was any milk left. Without milk, even if she wanted to breastfeed the child, it would probably be impossible. Liang Jinfen carried the baby into the house. Su Xiaodi was lying on the wooden bed. Her body was extremely weak. Because she had lost a lot of blood, Su Xiaodi's face was unusually pale. Her lips were completely pale. When Liang Jinfen saw this, she panicked. She quickly ran to Su Xiaodi and said to her, "Oh, Xiaodi, you've suffered a lot. Please don't let anything happen to you. Mother's heart aches to see you like this." Su Xiaodi lifted her head to look at Liang Jinfen. She was so weak that she could not muster any strength. She held her breath and said to Liang Jinfen, "Mother, did I give birth to a boy or a girl?" When she said this, Liang Jinfen fell silent. When she saw that Liang Jinfen's expression was not right, Su Xiaodi's heart sank. Then, she started to cry. Chapter 1452. Su Xiaodi wiped the tears from the corners of her eyes and cried, "Mother, what should I do? If I give birth to a girl, I won't be able to raise my status in my in-laws' family. They might even look down on me." The more Su Xiaodi thought about it, the sadder she felt. Her tears were like a waterfall that could not be stopped. Liang Jinfen saw that Su Xiaodi was crying and hurriedly comforted her. All right, Xiaodi, don't cry. You're still young. You can get pregnant again in the future. If you work hard, you'll definitely have a boy." Although Su Xiaodi knew that she could have another child in the future, she was not sure if she would be able to give birth to a boy. If she gave birth to a girl in the future, she would not be able to raise her head in her in-laws' family. This time, everyone had said that she was pregnant with a boy. She did not expect that she would give birth to a girl. "Mother, I'm afraid," sob. "If my in-laws knew that I gave birth to a girl, I don't know what they would say. My husband used to nag me every day that I must give birth to a boy so that I can fight for more in the future when we divide the family property. If I don't give birth to a boy, my husband probably won't like me anymore. Xiaodi, there's nothing you can do. Men are all like that. If you work hard in the next child and give birth to a fat boy, wouldn't that be fine?" Liang Jinfen nagged. Sob. "Mother. You don't understand. It's not that good." Su Xiaodi continued to cry. Looking at Su Xiaodi lying on the bed, Xiao Yun suddenly felt that this woman was a little pitiful. What was going on? Didn't she just give birth to a girl? Did she have to cry so sadly as if her mother had died? She was degrading herself and still expected men to respect her. After Su Xiaodi cried for a while, Liang Jinfen said, "Xiaodi, this child must be hungry. Hurry and feed her milk." Su Xiaodi looked at the girl in Liang Jinfen's arms and a trace of disdain appeared in her eyes. It was fine that it was a girl, but she was so ugly that it hurt her eyes. Thus, she said to Liang Jinfen, "Mother, hurry and take her away. I don't want to see her." Su Xiaodi blamed the suffering she was about to endure on this little girl. "Brother Zhao, this won't do. She keeps crying and making a fuss. It's so annoying if you don't give her milk." Su Xiaodi glanced at the baby again. Although she despised her, Liang Jinfen's words were not without reason. She couldn't just let her continue being noisy and annoying. "Yes, mother, bring it over." "Okay," Liang Jinfen said and put the baby next to Su Xiaodi. Su Xiaodi fed Liang Jinfen for a while and said helplessly, "Mother, there's no milk." Liang Jinfen frowned. "What? Without milk? How is the child going to survive?" "I don't know." Su Xiaodi shook her head. "If there's no milk, then we can only look for milk. I can buy a goat and feed it some milk. Then it will be able to survive." Su Xiaodi said with a bitter face, "Mother, a sheep is so expensive, how can we afford it? It's okay if it's a boy, but my in-laws definitely won't spend the money on a girl." "Then what can we do?" Liang Jinfen frowned. "If this didn't work, that didn't work, then wouldn't the child have to wait to starve to death?" Chapter 1453. "That's right, we spent a lot of effort and herbs this time. Pay the medical fees as well." When Liang Jinfen heard that they still had to pay the medical fees, she couldn't remain calm and complained to the doctor, "What? We still have to pay the medical fees?" The doctor frowned unhappily and replied, "Of course we have to pay the medical fees. Otherwise, do you think we saved people for nothing? Do you think we use medicine for nothing? Our clinic doesn't do charity. There are so many sick people outside. If we don't pay the medical fees, our clinic will close down in a few days." Liang Jinfen pursed her lips. She naturally understood this logic. But she was still unwilling to give up. She said to the doctor, "I understand, doctor. We'll pay the money. But how much money do we have to pay?" Liang Jinfen was worried that the people in the clinic would be greedy and ask for a lot. "A total of 5 taels of silver. Whether a life is worth 5 taels of silver or not, you have to weigh it in your heart." 5 taels of silver was not a small sum. Ordinary people might not even earn 5 taels of silver in a year. Even the Huang family's conditions for doing business were not bad. The shop's income was estimated to be 5 taels of silver in a month. Although there was no need for Liang Jinfen to pay the money, the Huang family could pay for it. But the problem was that Su Xiaodi had given birth to a girl. The Huang family would definitely be unhappy. If they were to pay so much money, they would definitely have a problem with Su Xiaodi. When the time came, who knew what to say about Su Xiaodi? Liang Jinfen began to worry. Her daughter's life in the Huang family was not good. Then she would not have a good life either. After all, she still had to rely on her daughter to support her in the future. Su Xiaodi's future was her future. Su Xiaodi's face turned even paler. She said to Liang Jinfen, "Mother, what should we do? 5 taels of silver is too much. My in-laws will definitely scold me. How can they bear to take out this money?" Liang Jinfen was silent for a moment. She frowned. "Yes, your in-laws will definitely not bear to take out this money. Mother, please help me think of a way." Su Xiaodi looked pleadingly at Liang Jinfen. Her eyes were filled with fear and worry. Seeing her daughter like this, Liang Jinfen felt helpless. If she had so much money in her pocket, she could pay for the medical expenses. However, she didn't have that much money in her hands. Liang Jinfen sighed and said, "This. Mother will go and discuss with the doctor to see if we can reduce the price." When the doctor heard Liang Jinfen's words, he directly refused, "Don't discuss it. What's there to discuss? 5 taels of silver is already too expensive. Your daughter and nephew's life are worth more than 5 taels of silver, right?" But she was not willing to give up. She continued to plead, "Doctor, please do us a favor and give us a discount. We are all poor people. How can we afford so much money? This sister-in-law, I have run this medical center for so many years. This is the first time I have seen someone haggle. Every day, so many people come. If everyone gets a discount, how can we continue to run this medical center? All right, I won't talk to you anymore. If you don't pay up, you can wait to see the officials." Su Xiaodi quickly pulled Liang Jinfen and said, "Mother, let's forget it. You're tuning into the LoveLore Library YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure."